Oopsies. I think I might be live. Hello, everybody. Happy, what is it, Thursday, all of my Zen friends. So glad to have you here. And I can't believe it's already Thursday. Whoosh, it just has flown by. So happy to have everyone. Hello, everybody. Good to see you guys. All right. Well, let us get started here before we get into everything. And we'll start with the singing bowl here. Hey, Collector, I'm glad you are here. So I did get your PayPal donation. So if you want that for this session, all I have to do is put your question out here. You actually will be up first once we get the party rolling. So I think you said you wanted a reading on your Leo. So if you want to put kind of like your specific question here, a little clarity on that, then you'll be up first. So hello. Hey, everybody. All right, well, let's get started here. I'd like to start off the session by bringing in beautiful love energy from above. And we do that by opening our heart and allowing that, like I picture a giant waterfall of love energy just flowing down and filling up and then flowing out to the world. So I love that, just that flood of energy that comes in with that. I'll hit the singing bowl 3 times. And so you can just allow that to just flow and flow and flow into our minds and all our thoughts, into our heart and all our emotions, to our energy and all our meridians, our chakras, our auras, to our physical bodies and to our blood and our joints and skin and bones and organs and cells of our body, just filling up our entire being and then flowing out to the world, allowing it to do whatever it wants to do out there to help raise the vibration of the planet. So as I'm hitting the singing bowl too, if you want to help raise your love vibration, you can focus on one thing that you're grateful for right here, right now. And that also immediately starts beginning to raise our love vibration, allows us to be in that energy of receiving messages, but also whatever we're grateful for, it makes us like a magnet to receive it as well. So I'll do that. I'm going to start off taking a big, deep breath to come back to right here, right now, getting out of the future, getting out of the past, coming right here into the moment, and then we'll begin. So if you'd like to join me, take a big, deep breath in. I'll release it whenever you feel comfortable. Right. So big, deep breath. All right, let's begin. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. I love it, I love it, I love it. All right, let's put her back on her little shelf back here. Everything in its little place. Hey, cat goddess. We've got our little, the cat going on today. Hey, Debbie O, Texas Virgo. Good to see you. Hey, everybody. So welcome to my channel. If you're here for the first time, I'm brudda-zen. We've got a great group of Zen friends here, huge hearts, great senses of humor. Of course, as I say, it's always two things that we can definitely use in our human adventure. So welcome. There's always room for more Zen friends. So it's a safe space for us all. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you want to know how the whole process works, everything's down in the description box of the video, but quickly, donations do get first priority. I do give that, they're prioritized, and I step out of the free readings and dive deeper, meaning I pull more cards for those as well. And then when I'm done, I return back to the chat and continue down first come first serve for those. I'm on for 3 hours. I always complete all donations during the session. And then sometimes I get to all of the free readings. Sometimes I get to some of the free readings. Sometimes I don't get to any free readings. But Sundays are different. I always come back on in the afternoon. Whatever I don't finish Sunday morning, I do come back Sunday afternoon. So you will always get a message from Spirit on Sundays if you try throughout the week. Some weekends I don't have any free readings except for that Sunday afternoon. And then last weekend I had like every session, I think except Saturday morning, I finished out all free readings except Sunday. I think we also came back in the afternoon for those, but so it all depends. But if you want to make a donation, you can use the super chat at the bottom or in the description box of the video. I do have my Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, or Square, whatever you feel comfortable using. Please feel free to do that. I don't have any set dollar amounts, whatever you give from your heart. I know everyone's cost of living and ability to give varies. Rate of exchange across the world is different too. So whatever you give from your heart, perfect amount. All right. I think that's the main skinny. After I'm done with the session, I do post a pinned comment listing all the readings I completed with the timestamp. So you could always come back and click on that, and then it'll take you directly to your reading. I think that is everything. I'm going to use this wonderful Sanctus Concordia Tarot this evening. And if you do make a donation, if you make multiple donations, you still only get one fortune cookie, just for the sake of time for everyone. But you do get I don't know, I was grabbing that, the Rooted Woman Oracle card as your fortune cookie. So you get one per person if you make a donation per session. So that is what we have going on here. All right. So, oops, wrong computer here. Let me just make sure this is all going on here. All right, very good. So, hey, Ave. Yes, I just saw that come through here as well. So let me grab these last few, and we'll give you a quick update on where we're at on donations, so everyone knows when you will appear. And there was something I forgot to do. That was it. So thank you, Ave. Let's grab this and this. Oops. All right, so we will start off with collector. Is that like a purr? So we'll start off with you, and then Crescent Moon, we have you ×3. And then we have Black Goddess, Intuitive Healer ×3 via CashApp. And then Jojo will be up after that, and then Ave via PayPal after that. So that's where we're at for donations so far. So let's get the party started. So let's make sure I grab timestamps. 10-10. Look at that. So collector, we're starting off already with some wonderful repeating numbers. Sometimes that happens throughout the timestamps, which is fun. All right. And then you had said your birthday is Saturday. So 2 days from now. And you want to know how to proceed in life. So you're kind of on the Leo Virgo cusp, are you? How fun for you. So, all right. Hey, Dub. Good to see everyone. All right. So let's take a look here. What advice, and happy early birthday to you. What advice does Spirit have for you here? Let's take a look on how to proceed in life. What's for your highest experience, or what they want you to know? Because, really, what's interesting is Spirit doesn't have like a should for us. The date changes over the years, right? Yeah, it changes. Sometimes it's the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. So it's like you get all that wonderful energy. Whenever we're within a few days of a sign anyway, we have the taste of one and the taste of another as well. So you get it. You get the benefits of both, the challenges of both too, but we're not going to focus on those for your birthday. But as I was saying, Spirit doesn't really have a should or a supposed to or a need to. They just look at life as different choices, different experiences, different outcomes, but not one is better than the other, because we have so many millions and millions of expressions of our soul in all these dimensions, all these experiences. We have tons as human characters, but also as other things. And so there's no like, it has to be this way. It's more possibilities and adventure energy than it is you're supposed to complete this and do this and do this. So one of the big things that brings us into the earth is our power of choice. And with that, it's all about possibilities. Not a whole lot of faded things. There are some things like I want to experience this. It's like saying I want to go to Disney World, but there's a bunch of different things I could try out, and I have intention of doing this and riding that ride. But if something else catches my fancy, I'm going to go do that in life, and I'm not going to get punished for it or anything like that. So I like this adventure feel that they're bringing in for your next rotation around the sun. Bottom of the deck, which is the overall energy, you have the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is an excellent balance of emotional energy with your mental energy. Underneath that, I just have to show this too, because we do have the Star card. And the Star card represents like our hopes, our dreams, wishing upon a star. And with the King of Cups coming in, that is this. I feel like over this next year, you're going to have a lot of clarity around what your brain has told you you're supposed to achieve, and, all the supposed to expectations, which sound like supposed to, should, need to, have to, must, but they're all rooted in fear. They're all opinion that was given to us by other humans. And we took those on as our own opinion. And then our mind goes, this is how you should live your life. But it feels like work. It's trying to achieve to get to something, where when we live from our heart is, to all it says,
no, 1,000 times no.
That's what it says to expectations. It's like, I want to live and have this adventure, not try to have to live up to something. Because when we're, everything we do, if there's all these expectations, we live in lack. If we have no expectations, we live in abundance and fullness. And that's what we learn through our life, is so much inundated growing up on what we're supposed to do. But then we learn that we balance it out with our heart, going, no, I'm letting my heart to have a seat at the table in the discussion of what my dream is. and that changes everything. And I feel like this next year, with this energy, you are gaining a lot of clarity over next year. Yeah. Here's the Nine of Swords, which is the nightmare and insomnia card, which is also are all those thoughts and beliefs we were talking about. And it is the nine, this energy. We get to this point of just almost the Ten of Swords is I'm sick and tired of living up to all these expectations. I got to be free. The Nine of Swords is like, we're so close to that. We're almost exhausted trying to live up to all these expectations. And we like this, energy of release and freedom that comes from all that, right? Yeah, no, 1,000 times no. Yeah, and then the Four of Swords. So the Nine of Swords leading to the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is peace of mind. It is usually someone sleeping on the Ace of Swords. Three swords on the wall, which is all about expectations. Those are usually the Three of Swords. You'll see like a heart with three swords stuck in it normally from the major arcana, which is all these expectations. We can't live up to it. So we're always living in that disappointment, right? And lack. But the Four of Swords is at rest because it's seeing things from a higher perspective, from the heart, from the higher mind, and it's let a lot of the expectations go. That's why they're able to rest, is because they're not living their life by expectations, but by their heart instead. So again, usually I read the bottom of the deck, but there's usually cards that reinforce the bottom of the deck just to really bring the point home. But that's where we're starting off. And then let's see what else we got here. You do have the Three of Pentacles. I love that. That is about being true to your authentic self. And the Knight of Pentacles too. All knights have a quest. This knight is on a quest for the Ace of Coin, the Ace of Pentacles, the journey, the quest for our self-worth. Instead of defining ourselves by the outside world, we turn inward to define ourselves by Creator, by this eternal, unconditional love. But this is the quest. It's like, who am I? Who am I really? It's not about that I'm broken and I'm trying to fix myself. It's I'm burning away all of the stuff that was put on me growing up that isn't me, and I'm burning it away to find out and discover the purity of the gold that I am, instead all the stuff that's been put on top of the gold to make it look. They're showing me like a Indiana Jones thing where they have they find something that's clay or covered in soot and all this stuff, and they clean it off, and it's this gold statue, pure gold, priceless, right? And that's, I feel like this journey, a big piece of this over the next year. You also have the King of Wands energy. I love this. It just fits in with all your message here, because the King of Wands is like someone who's in like a king who's in their throne room, right, with all of their advisors, blah blah blah, telling them who they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to do, all those expectations, right? Everyone has their opinion, and then they realize, wait, I'm the king in kingdom, so I'm the one who makes the decisions. This is my life. I get to decide, right? So they clear the throne room, telling everyone, leave your opinions on the way out the door. And then you get to choose, what is it that I want? Not all the expectations, what everyone else has told me, but what do I want? And then I decide, and then I put a plan together, and then I put action behind it. So this next year, I feel like, is this journey. You're releasing, getting out of your head, allowing your heart to have you. You're discovering who you really are, what it is you really want, what is your true dream come true, not the mind's dream. Because we know, when we wake up in the morning and we're like, oh, crap, I got to go live my dream today. We know that's not our dream. That's someone else's dream that we took on as our dream. But that our heart is like, no, I hate that. I don't want that, right? Oh, very good. I love that, there is this, you've been on this journey, and it's just about to amplify over this next year. And you're really stepping into your power over this next year around the sun. And of course, Leo is ruled by the sun, so you got that powerful energy behind you. All right, let's see what the last three cards are here. Yeah, so you do. Here's the Ace of Pentacles, what you're questing after. you do find a new sense of worth and how you relate your worth to the outside world, because you're seeing yourself differently by the end of next year. You have the Ace of Swords, too. Wow, two aces. A brand new journey. Ace of Swords is like that Four of Swords. You're seeing things from a higher perspective. You're gaining that clarity. You're able to question these small t truths that have been rooted in fear, about, they're the ones, the expectations that sound like, well, I should do this, I'm supposed to do this, I need to do this, I must do this. If it feels restrictive, that's not of spirit, that's of man trying to control things, and a fear of rejection, a fear that our worth is based on something in the outside world, other people's actions or non-actions, their words, their silence, what kind of job I have, what kind of possessions, what my body is, what money I make. All of that outside world stuff is unstable. So when we define ourselves by it, we feel unstable. But this new realization of how you see the world is totally changing here. Yeah, and the Page of Pentacles. So new opportunities, heightened opportunities, definitely a new heightened sense of worth by the time you get to the end of next year. So this is a big piece of your journey. I like it because it's really putting things into perspective, that there's not something you're supposed to achieve. It's an adventure of discovery, who you really are, and stepping out of the cage of all those mindsets that you've had, right? So let's see what your fortune cookie says too. This is from the Rooted Woman Oracle. So let's see what this is here. Oh, I love that. Oh, yeah. Let's take a look here. All right. So let's see what else they have here for you. Whoa. So you've got the Labyrinth, number 4. Here you go. Here's your little adventure. So let's take a look. Let's see. This is a square. These are all different. All right. So it says, during the Middle Ages, the practice of walking the labyrinth at great Christian sites like Chartres in France became entangled with the pilgrimage tradition. Labyrinths created in the stone floors of cathedral were often the final landmark on a pilgrim's path, and so became a symbol for the spiritual journey which they had undertaken, assisting with the process of integration. Interesting. The Labyrinth card reminds us that life is not a linear journey, but its single path leads ultimately to the center, the path with heart, as we were saying. The good news is that the labyrinths aren't mazes. They're designed to help you find your way to the center, right? Back to here. They're designed precisely to center us, because walking the labyrinth lifts us out of the everyday world for a while and fosters contemplation. And there at the center of the labyrinth, you'll discover new insights, uncover old wisdom, or gain new knowledge. You'll begin to understand why it was that you decided to walk this path. Then it will be time to make your way out of the labyrinth, taking into the world the gifts that you received in the center. Wow. I love that. And like you said, this has been 8 months of healing for you. This is part of your moving you to the center, right? Yeah. And you definitely are on it. Everything is pointing you to the inside. So I love that for you. So I feel like that is how you are to move forward, is to remember, especially with that King of Wands, that you're not all of the stuff of the outside world, everything, relationships, situations, and things all point you inward to yourself. So everything on the outside world that we were dependent on or trying to define ourselves by or whatever, all that disappointment in the outside world comes back to us, because everything in the outside world is unstable, right? People, situations, things. People, like we said, people walk away, people change, people pass away. The human character does, but the actor behind the characters are forever. But these human relationships are unstable and temporary, right? Situations like jobs, education, social status, situations we can get in are unstable, and things break down, deteriorate, blow up, burn down, all that unstable. It points us inward and upward. So we just cry out, and like how you said, help me find my way. Ask your spiritual posse to show you, and they will reveal all of those things for you as well. So um, that is what they have for you. If you want a deep dive reading, I also offer personal readings. That's good for everyone to know. All that information's down in the description box. Also offer a hedge of peace and love if anyone's interested. All that information, there's a link that takes you to a little site that breaks down and tells you all the little information about all of it as well. So if you're interested. But that is what they have for this one. So hang in there, my dear. I'm excited for your next rotation around the sun, and happy birthday to you. All right. So many blessings. Up next here. All right. So we got Crescent Moon. Oh, look, you're at 27 minutes even. Here we go. More numbers that are just standing out. So Crescent Moon, we have 3 for you. So we will jump into that. The first one here, let's give that a love and a like there since it lets me. Always good to see you as well. And message below, Detective PI. Always spot on. Oh, I love that. Mind-boggling. Ooh. Well, thank you. I'm so glad that they do resonate. So deep dive read on Sagittarius for today, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right. Let's shake this up here. Let me take a sip here. All right. You notice I don't have my candle lit today. It's very hot. So I didn't want to add any heat. It's cool down here. But if I put the candles on, they start to get a little heated. All right. So let's take a look here. Sagittarius for today. Okay, thank you. And then today's Thursday. I keep on thinking it's Wednesday, and then sometimes I think it's Friday. So here's Friday, Saturday, underlying energy for Saturday, and Sunday as well, right? Yeah, and underlying energies for Sunday. Okay. Let's see what we got here. So let me just scroll down here. All right. Yes. Enjoy. Love you too. Go chill and rest and relax. All right. So underlying energy, they're really in this reflective mode with the 8 of Swords, looking at what thoughts I don't believe anymore, those that have been restrictive, blinding, binding, that have made them feel small in the past. So a lot of thinking going on, which they've been doing a lot of that lately anyway, right? So we knew that. For today, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday for today. Yeah, for today, we have the devil. Yeah, here we go. Devil card, Capricorn, overthinking energy, and the 4 of Pentacles. So today has a lot of, thinking. The Capricorn devil card, of course, when we get that, that's, so many long-held beliefs, like kind of our foundation. That's this 8 of Swords energy is right with that, where they're thinking about this is home insecurity with this 4 of Pentacles. So a lot of letting go of some old thoughts and getting some clarity about what do I want? What do I really need? And what can I let go of? I feel like they're focused in on home today and work. It feels like, yeah, Devil card is Capricorn rules over the 10th house of work too. So it just feels like work and home. Like, what do I really want? What do I really need? Kind of energy. They're just kind of in this, I want to say it's not midlife crisis energy, but that's kind of what Saturn returns do to us. Is the first one is usually between, it takes 29 years for Saturn to return back to where we were born. And so it impacts us 3 to 5 years before and after. So really you're looking at, you start to feel it, around 23-ish. And then it can last up to 33, 34 years old. As well, anywhere between that 10-year period, we can start to feel it as it gets closer to our Saturn return. And then it comes back 2-3 times in our lifetime, sometimes 4 if you live long enough. But the first one's the toughest. The second one, we learn more from watching other people, but we still have a shakeup in our life of what do I want and what don't I want in my life. So they got a lot of that big thinking going on today. I feel like it's spawned by something going on at work. Tomorrow's energy, they do have the Ace of Wands with the Two of Wands. So I feel like this thinking, they are in the process of really making some changes, planning, like they're sparked to at least plan some changes. There's new gusto, new energy, new urge for motion and change coming in here. With all this. And it makes sense as we move into Virgo season. Virgo focuses on our day-to-day, focuses on our, they can be big thinkers as well. But it's like Leo energy gives us a lot of go, 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 go energy. And then we go into the make it practical, make it solutions. What really, let's get back to basics. Let's look at our daily schedule. And I feel like they're getting ready to go like, all right, now I'm going to put this plan and put practical steps together. A lot of energy into the planning, I feel, tomorrow. I feel like they're continuing to at least get it on paper or get it organized in their mind before they're making some changes based on all this reflection that they've been doing. Saturday, we've got the Moon card. Ooh, mysterious. And the Nine of Swords, yeah. So it makes sense because I was feeling like as you're making plans and putting them into action and taking steps toward it is another thing, right? We have all these fears that come up when we're like, all right, I'm going to go do this and do this. Okay, well, maybe tomorrow. Okay, not yet. Well, I'm going to do this, but let's wait till next week. We get up to it and then we're like, it feels like we keep taking a exit ramp off of we're okay, maybe not yet. I'm just going to go to the rest area and think this through a little more, maybe a little more planning, a little more research, right? Underlying energy, yeah, they have the Ace of Cups underneath here. So there is this, it feels like a lot of their hesitancy in making some actions has to do with it's the challenges of self-love. Like, do I deserve to have what I want? So that's the kind of stuff that's bubbling up, the little whispers of, are you sure you deserve that? Are you sure you deserve happiness? Are you sure you deserve to have what you want in life? And that's Saturday has a lot of that kind of reflection that, circles back around and smacks them upside, their head that's there. Okay, yeah. And then Sunday, we've got the Five of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. So here's that conflict between the head and the heart and the pursuit of their self-worth, pursuit of their adventure that's coming in here. So I feel like, again, the Knight of Pentacles is a slow-moving energy. And the Five of Wands is an energy of that mind saying you should do this. That's the one that has the fears, the Nine of Swords, the heart going, I want to do this, and the mind going, whoop, not yet, don't leap yet. What if, what if, what if, it brings in all those, types of energies that comes with that. And below the deck here on Sunday, we got the Eight of Wands. Yeah, there's this flooding of energy, and the Knight of Swords, the wanting to overcome the fears and move through the fears. So there is energy building. We're at the Eight of Wands, which Nine of Wands is like trying to bust through something. The 10 of Wands is, I'm done, let's go, right? So they're getting to this point. It's like more and more they're getting the courage and the bravery to make changes. And the changes I feel are in work, are in where I live, on who I'm with. It just feels like an overhaul of their entire life. Even my body, as I'm sitting in their energy, I'm like, I want to take better care of my body, and I want to go do what I love to do. I'm tired of being stressed and feeling unhappy and feeling like I have to do what everyone else wants me to do. I'm the one holding me back, and I am ready to live the life that I want. So let me do these plans. Let me do this. Let me do that. And then the fears kick in, and then they're like, well, maybe we'll do that. Yeah, I'd want to do it. Let me just get some other things in place first. Like they're creating safety nets, maybe saving up money, looking at what they want to get rid of. So they're kind of getting the budget portion in that side of how I'm going to fund my dreams, fund, that kind of things. So hopefully that makes sense. We'll wait on the fortune cookie for. They want me to wait at least one reading here. Maybe we'll do it on the second, or maybe we'll do it on the third one. Maybe it'll be the shebang at the end, the dessert after the 3-course meal. We shall see. So, but I feel like that's what we have for the first one. And then for the second one, thank you so much again for your additional donation. We'll give that a love and a like there. And this is the follow-up read. All right. So, from beginning of August, Spirit mentioned Sagittarius who would reach out during an air sign. It was either this weekend or next, right? Okay, I remember. Spirit mentioned how Sagittarius wants to share with me the things they've been going through. Will you please send an energy check from Spirit as to if and when they will reach out? Also, what does Spirit want to? What does Spirit want to? What Spirit wants to say? All right. Okay, then that's for the other one. All right. So let's take a look here. Oh, share with me. I see it now. Thank you again. Yeah. The best private investigator, the best PI. brudda-zen, PIT factory. All right, let's take a look here. So the next, so just to confirm here, an energy check on if they will reach out, and if so, when. All right, let's start off with that. Okay, and when. All right, and then what else do they want you to know here? Okay, we got this, we got this, we got this, this one leading to that one. All right, we'll see what we got here. All right, let me scroll back down here so I can catch anything you say. Bottom of the deck, we do have Leo energy. The energy is courage and boldness, type of energy coming in here. Of course, we're stepping out of Leo season, but there's something about Leo energy. We'll find out what this is here in a sec. So will they have it here? You got 6 of Pentacles. So here's that equal giving and receiving. It's a victory energy. So it is an energy confirming they will reach out. The when is the Ace of Swords. I laugh because swords is air energy and Ace of Swords is new. Did I say new moon? Well, it's not a new moon, but it would be a moon, right? But it is definitely, I feel like they're reinforcing here, giving us the Ace of Swords, because the next new moon, of course, is going to be on Saturday with Virgo new moon. I believe is on Saturday. So I feel like we're still on track for a air moon. So I do feel like there will be some reaching out, and again, that giving and receiving energy of chatting, back and forth. So isn't that crazy? I just love that. Let's see what else they want you to know here. We've got like a card like this, a card like this, a card like this, a card like this. There is this, it's not mirroring energy, but I feel like it's both of you, both of your energies. So let's see here. I feel like this one is you. This one is the Page of Swords. So seeking clarity, wanting clarity is a big piece of like your adventure with this, right? And the Seven of Cups underlying below the surface. Yeah, you do have a lot of mixed emotions, right? It's like, I'm excited. I want to hear more. I want this, but I'm also afraid of, there's some old anxious emotions that I feel bubbling up like butterflies of what if I don't like what they say? What if this? What if this? What if this? It's like, calm down. I like that. Calm down, Chris. I mean, calm down. Let's come to here. Let's see what's going on from their standpoint. Yeah, the Hierophant. Yeah. Talk about wanting to see things from a higher perspective, the Hierophant. And it's also the number 5 is the master number of change. So much makes sense. They're like, I'm going through so much change. And I just wanted to let you know everything that I've gone through to bring me to this point of my whole life is an upheaval. But it's interesting. Let's see what this card, because I feel like you've always been like this grounding force for them in their life. Yeah, and the 8 of Wands are all go, 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 go. Look, all this stuff. I just feel like they're going to be talking 100 miles per hour. You're just going to be like taking notes. Uh-huh. Oh, you don't say. Really? Oh, yeah. It's active listening, right? Is a lot of what you'll be doing, because I feel like they're just going to it's, I have friends like that who I don't talk to them for years, and then we catch up and they tell me everything that's happened in the last 5 years. And then they're like, wow, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And they're like, well, how are you? And I'm like, well, I'm good, but I'm kind of tired now. It's after 3 hours of hearing everything about someone else's life, right? Of course, these are just friendships. These are not love interests. Otherwise, there's all sorts of energy left after that, right? But I feel like this is going to be that kind of scenario where they're just like blah 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 blah, and then you're just like, wow, But I feel it feels good that they trust you with being able to tell you everything. And then yeah, and then the 7 of Swords. Interesting energy here. I'm not getting the regular meaning of this, because this is normally thievery, trickery, blah blah blah. This isn't that. This is realizing it's like there's this, I wouldn't say a confession, right? How many years since my last confession? But it's more of a proclamation, confession. They're basically sharing, like with that 8 of Swords, of these are the thoughts and beliefs that had me, how I was deceiving myself in the past, but I've gained a lot of clarity around who I really am and what I really want, kind of energy. that comes in with all that. So very, very interesting energy there. But I feel like there's a lot of truth, a lot of what they're saying. I feel like the ending of it is, and I've learned so much, um, and I feel like that's where the it is kind of a confession of sorts, but it's not confession like, it's more of I really want to. It's not like I want to right wrongs, but um, I feel like there's some apologies of how I've not been the person I wanted to be with you and towards you. And definitely, even with that Six of Swords, all the swords energy of that I've grown and I've changed. And that Sun card makes sense now with Leo energy because it's about I know who I am more, I have my identity. I'm not trying to be something someone else wants me to be now. I know more of who I am kind of energy. So I do feel like all of that there. Yep, and I don't feel like we're gonna go to the fortune cookie after number 3. All right, after the meal. All right, so that's it for number 2. So number 3, thank you for your multiple donations. I love that magic 8-ball. So follow-up read. So also beginning of August, Spirit mentioned Sagittarius would take actions towards you in September, right? Meeting outside, right, in the real world. And then in October, traveling together somewhere local where they would open up to their feelings towards you. What does Spirit see for beginning of September? All right. And then also mention Sagittarius and you in October. Will it still be traveling together? Okay, yeah. Yeah, right. This time, it had changed, right? So let's see what the energy is going on here. So the beginning of September, because it does feel like they're making like significant changes, and so future alters because it's kind of like they went from being over here to where they're going like over here. So that's why, with people's choices and changes, right, it just feels like, whoa, what's happening again? That Hierophant, the master number of change, really standing out as well. So let's take a look here. What does September, beginning of September, right, we have that. We've got these and we've got that. All right. And then October for the traveling, what does that look like? Is it still happening? And if so, what are we looking at? I feel like we got this one and this one. Okay, we want that one. Right. Yeah. Well, the bottom of the deck, see, we got all that, the Judgment card here, which is about the higher self, clarifying and inviting them to see things from a higher perspective. So there is a lot of that being shaking and rattling that's coming in, right? So I like that. Seeing things with clarity, seeing themselves with clarity, it just feels like, wow, I'm being drawn up, inward and upward in my realizations of who I am and what I want in life. So September, we do have the Two of Wands. So here is the planning kind of energy. So they are in this stage of wanting to decide what I want to do, and then I'll put actions behind it. So beginning of September, it still feels like they're in that, how we had in the first reading, I think it was, where the Two of Wands came out with the Ace of Wands. Is that what you're showing me? Yeah, the Ace of Wands and the Two of Wands came out together. So this is where they're putting their plans into action. Like they're, all right, I'm taking steps. It's like, okay, beginning of September, they've been putting it off. Okay, September 1st, I'll start, right? That's funny. Let's see what that looks like here. We've got the Seven of Wands. Yeah, I need to be true to the authentic me, not ask permission to shine, not dim my light. And there's that Leo sun energy. I got to shine bright. I got to be me. Now I'm taking steps for me, starting at the beginning of September. The King of Swords. And the clarity, the master of the mind with the Nine of Wands. So we talked about the Eight of Wands moving to the Nine of Wands, moving to the Ten of Wands. So the beginning of September, they're really taking action and stepping, because when they get to the Ten of Wands, they're like busting through this, this block that they feel they've been having. And September feels, with the Nine of Wands, feels like the month that they do that. So, and this just makes sense because they'll feel like the first half-ish of September is their energy of making plans for me, stepping forward. So I feel like the last half is when they really make big decisions. I feel like that's where more so maybe the external meeting happens, because they got so much that they're doing in the first 2 weeks of getting their plan going that it seems like it's very hectic and very go, 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 and a lot of stuff to do, that it feels lighter in the last half of September. So hopefully that makes sense. And then let's look at October. Is the outing still going on? Yep. Six of Wands, a victory and movement card. So it definitely feels like that still is on. And what does that look like? We've got the Eight of Pentacles. So there is a little bit of Eight of Pentacles is like putting in the work and getting the reward. Let's see what these other two cards are, because I feel like there's a return to, okay, now it's going to be work related. Not really work related, but I've got to work while I'm doing it. So it's not like it's like I need to do a couple things while like I'm doing this. I just need 2 hours to do this thing, or I have to have this meeting or this interview or this something or other, because I feel like there's something to do with work that comes in here while you're doing it. But it doesn't feel like before, where it was I'm going on a convention or whatever, something for work, and that you're going to go along. And now it's like, no, this is all about getting away. But they're like, well, now there's something with their changes. It's like they have to do it while they're there, either like an interview or they have to prepare something, but they need a little pocket of time to do it, which is all right. A couple hours. It's like, all right, that's reasonable. Let's see what else we have here too. Yeah, Temperance is patience and unfolding with the Ace of Swords. Yeah, this clarity. I like it. I know it feels like so here is that something that's been waiting a long time to be communicated still happens. That so their thoughts, their feelings, the clarity that you've been looking for with that, it's like, yeah, it feels like it's been taking forever. It does end up being communicated, and you do get the clarity that you've been looking for there. So I like that, because it sounds like with that, the the conversation of where you were looking for clarity, you wanted to understand with that. I think it was the Page of Swords that you were wanting it. It's like, it comes, just be patient with it. It's like, all right, it will, I'll get it. That's too funny. But it looks positive. It still looks like it's happening, and that the clarity is coming in. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here as well regarding the Sagittarius. The Rooted Woman Oracle. All right. So, boom. The threshold. Look, the door is opening. You're on the threshold. So close, yet so far, right? Let's see. That's square. It's a square 7. Here it is. So the threshold card ushers in the beginning of something, representing a frontier between what's gone before and whatever waits for us in the future. When we stand on the threshold, we apprentice ourselves to possibility. Wow. So the moment when you step onto the threshold isn't always a comfortable one. You'll be leaving behind the ground you know, and you're about to take a significant step into the unknown. Nothing on the other side is familiar to you yet. It's the point of maximum pressure. Do you have the courage and resilience to step into unknown territory? Dun, dun, dun. The threshold card is reminiscent of the traditional monistic practice of statio, a term which is often used for the intermediate stages during a pilgrimage. Wow, and you got I'm sorry, but the pilgrimage was for someone else. I was like, this messages of pilgrimages is coming through today. But statio is an intentional pause. The individual is about to enter a sacred place, but pauses first at the door to shed any burdens, worries, or other distractions which might get in the way of being truly present to the divine. It's interesting. I'm getting that energy. That's what they're doing too. Both of you are at this threshold. And we always talk about patience and how things all happen in their timing to be able to let things go so that we can move forward, right? To raise our love vibration, to draw in something that will be different. If we just ran through the threshold, we'd probably trip and but pausing at the threshold, raising our love vibration makes for a smoother move forward. This card then invites you to pause on the threshold, to take a deep breath, to contemplate this moment between moments, and then make the leap of faith, which will bring you safely to the other side. Wow. I love it. Great fortune cookie. All right. So that is what they have for you, Crescent Moon. So hopefully that brings you the clarity you were looking for today. Thank you again for your donations. All right. All right. So we have here, Black Goddess, Intuitive Healer, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp. 57, 51. This is for times 3. I know, Crescent Moon. I'm like, wow. I'm excited for your adventure. But here we go, right? All right, let me take a sip here, and we'll get into this here. All right. Let me just make sure I put these over here. I don't forget them. So, Black Goddess, hello, my dear. Thank you for your multiple donations via the CashApp. You're more than welcome. I know. All right. So let's dive into your first one here, Black Goddess. It says, energy of your husband. What kind of man is he? Let's take a look here and see what does Spirit want you to know. All right. Energy. And then what kind of man? What kind of man? All right. So let's take a look. Underlying energy, we have the 3 of Cups, which is joy energy, community. And we have the moon energy under that too, which I like the combination of those two because they are someone who has a great amount of emotion. I feel like maybe they do have, a water moon or water energy or Cancer in their chart in a significant way, because I do feel like they have a great amount of caring for people. That's the 3 of Cups energy too. In addition to, and I like it that they're emotional, but it's not like, they're emotional, like always down. No, they're a very happy, loving individual that just glows. People love being around them, but they do care about their community, whatever their community is, whether it's family, friends, whatever. I like that, kind of energy that comes in with that. Um, so good underlying energy, someone that's very giving from their heart, right? I know it's like they better I get to be filled, and then everyone else can have the overflow, but I get as much as I want first. I know you're not that way, but it's like, wait a minute. All right. So what other energy do we have of the husband? Wow. Yeah, fullness of life, 10 of Pentacles, just full and overflowing. And it makes sense with as much as they give, um, that they always have this beautiful energy of receiving back. They give so much freely and from their heart that they just have that energy that matches all of that. A lot of gratitude, energy, gratitude and joy, and it flows that way. Also, the Star card. I love it. Aquarius energy, which makes sense with all of the other energy we had with the caregiving, because Aquarius energy is about the collective. It is about, I want to help the world. Everyone's my friend. I want to save everyone. I want to help everyone. I want to change the world to be a better place for everyone. It's that kind of energy that's there, but it is, of course, dream come true energy. So I feel like in the important things, that the energy that they have is, you're just like, it just fits so well with what your heart has been wanting from someone, which is someone that can give love like you can, right? And that will receive love like you can. So I like that. Let's see what else we got here. What kind of man is he? We've got the King of Cups. Yeah, we knew it. Balance between head and heart. So I like that they're not just this emotional person that gives everything away and goes, oops, we don't have rent money. No, they're someone who balances the emotional side with the mental side. But that is this energy. It's one of my perfect compatible people energies. And the Seven of Pentacles, very patient individual as well. Just a very patient, kind, loving person, right? You're like, and that is what you need. And they need someone who is fiery like you are, because it's this perfect balancing energy. They are they're outgoing, but they're more of this lover, not a fighter. Lets a lot of people, say things and do things because they're from a loving place. But you, with that fire, you will put boundaries, and with you by their side, people will think twice about, ooh, we can't do what we've done, but we can't manipulate. Not that they're manipulated. They're just like, they would skip a meal if they saw a homeless person. They would like give the meal to them instead of eating themselves, and then not have time to eat dinner. You'd be like, we'll give them food, but we're making sure you're eating. You will, they need that energy. And you also, of course, um you both just pull each other to the middle, more so, right? I like that. Not to the middle, let's say closer to the middle. That's funny. What else? Yeah, Two of Pentacles, a very balanced person. I like that. The Two of Pentacles. They just, and it makes sense here with all this energy. I just feel like they've got a good head for business, um, and I like that energy that's there. So hopefully that helps. Right, we'll give you your fortune cookie on your number 3, so I'll remember that. All right, so that's for number 1. I like that for you. For number 2, you want message from your beloved ancestors. Yeah, there's been some amazing ancestral energy that's been hanging around very strong here for a couple of weeks, but it makes sense. We are starting to go into the eclipse season, the eclipse energy. What we've got on September 7th, which is 2 weeks from this Sunday, we got the Pisces lunar eclipse. And then 2 weeks after that, the Virgo solar eclipse on the following 2 Sundays from that. So we're in this energy, and the veil is much thinner than it normally is during this period as well. So there's a lot of opportunity to hear from our ancestors and anyone else on the other side too. So I love that. Yeah. And boy, have they been talking to you, haven't they? You got the Eight of Wands energy here, which is a card of tons and tons and tons of energy from spirit and messages to match. So a lot of things in the outside world, a lot of synchronicities, a lot of communication um, all over the place. So of course I know that you're aware, you're very aware of messages from them, but they're like, girl, you won't believe the messages that we've been giving you. And you're like, wow, all right. So slow down, pause, take a look around. You're going to see a lot of different signs. And it's funny with the talk of all these lunar eclipses, we got the moon card under all that. They're like, there's a great opportunity for them to speak even louder. Well, not really speak louder, but we're able to hear it louder with that, because that's on our side. It's like they speak at the same tone, but we're turning up the speaker where we can hear them even louder. So I like that kind of energy that's coming in here. Let's see, what do they want you to know? You got the Six of Wands. They have your back. You are supported. They have you lifted up on this horse. So there is this energy. All the people that are praising them that's your higher self, and all your spiritual posse. All of them, your ancestors, all cheering you on. And so you are supported, I feel like, is the big message that comes from that. You have the Emperor and the Five of Pentacles. So there is this, realization here too from them. I like this because the Emperor is, your ancestors are saying you are the ruler of your life. And the Five of Pentacles is, again, this energy of realize it's not the outside world that brings you your sustenance. It is the higher realms, right? They are the ones that make sure we have everything we need in this moment right now to do what we are wanting to do, right? But the Five of Pentacles is this underlying energy of lack, like where we feel like maybe there might be some feelings of unworthiness from the past that are bubbling below, but it's all about the clarity that comes when we know that it's them that supply it, what we need, and not humans. Sometimes it's like, well, what about people? Why are not people doing what supporting me the way I want them to? Well, they're human. They're just the delivery services, right? But the source is creator and spirit. And when we put that energy towards them in gratitude, going, I thank you for bringing me what I need in this moment. And I'm so grateful. And the more we focus on that and that trust here, when we put our trust out here, we get disappointed and we experience abandonment, right? When we focus here, we're never abandoned. We're always full. It's just, it doesn't always match everything that our brain, our little ego says, of course, we're supposed to have, but it's sitting in that I have everything I need within me right now. So it's a change of energy, and they're just allowing you to go, you are the one who decides. The outside world doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. And what happens in your life is what you're drawing into it with your power, because you are the emperor of your life. You're not in the back seat being driven around in a baby seat. You're the driver of the bus. So they're like, what do you want to do? Step into your authority because you have it, and we support you. So I like that energy. They also have two more cards. You have the Four of Cups along with the Queen of Swords. Yeah. There's a little bit of just a reminder with the Four of Cups is that you do have someone coming your way that's going to be like a dream come true. The Queen of Swords is like the King of Cups. That's the compatibility, because you got the King of Cups for your husband's energy, right? Your future husband's energy, which rules over cups. Behind the scenes have swords. The Queen of Swords has swords up front. Behind the scenes, all queens have cups. So there's this compatibility that even though on the outside people are like, how are you guys even together? You seem like opposites, but when they realize and they get to know each of you, they realize what a perfect fit you guys are for each other. The Four of Cups is, you don't want to do what you've always done before and had what you've always had. So, just realize the stuff that comes before it is just the same old boring cups. What you're holding your heart for is, of course, this perfect fit that's coming your way. I love that. And they're like, just to let you know, they are coming your way. You also have the Nine of Pentacles. This is about this independence energy with the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. So there is both the Nine of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune, of course, two powerfully abundant cards coming in here. And just know that life is unfolding perfectly for your success, your independence, and that it's always for you. That's what the Wheel of Fortune is, the fortune, right? It's always for you. And I feel like that's what they want you to know, is that, they can see the entire, every possibility in your life. And they're like, it's always for you. Everything that unfolds is always giving you the little hints, the little nudges, the little growth and awareness to help your adventure be perfectly what you were wanting to experience in this life. They're like, you're not on an out of control drama train that's about to leap off the tracks and explode. You're on this perfect adventure of possibilities. So I love that for you. I love your ancestors. All right, so that's what they have for that. And then for number 3, you want to know, is there an offer for job opportunities coming? Let's take a quick sip here. All right, let's see what we got going on. And then, your fortune cookie over here. Let's see what else they have here. All right, so thank you. Job opportunity. Is that coming? No. All right, what else? We got this. We got this. We got this. All right. So at the bottom of the deck, you do have the 9 of Wands. So this does feel like there's been this energy of a block, right? Let's see what they have to say around this. It does feel like things are a little out of order because you got one card. I'm sorry, like one card. You see how things are way out of order? You thought this was 1. You thought this was 2. It's really 1, though. So you have 1 card and then 3 cards and then 2 cards. And the 3 cards are like this. So there's a lot of things that just seem out of order that can be put in order. Let's see what this is about here. So the first one is, the 10 of Wands. So of course that is moving beyond. So there is a movement beyond the block coming. So that would be a yes to your question, because you're moving from the block to beyond the block, right? Let's see what this out of orderness has been. The 7 of Cups. So there's been a little maybe inconsistency in the emotions around job, like maybe, and we can do that. We can fall into doubt, and have some fears around job and income that humans were taught that we can revert it. What's great is that lower vibration energy has a very small value amount assigned to it. Higher vibration has a huge amount of value to it, meaning that when you're looking at a scale, if I'm like, okay, jobs, if I have fear, it just goes, but if I have gratitude, it's woof. So it gratitude can counteract a lot of lower vibrational fear energy that we might worry, fear, frustration, lower vibrational feelings we have around trying to find a job. I know we all can relate, right? But it's like the moments of gratitude can do that. And I just feel like there's a lot of different emotions that are being thrown onto this other plate. So just a good reminder to focus back on gratitude as much as we can. It just helps draw in things that match it. So gratitude for the jobs that I have had. What have I loved about the jobs that I have had? Because I know probably none of us can very rarely say there's a job that I loved everything about. But what did I love about the jobs that I had, that in the gratitude I have? I loved experiencing that. Oh, I loved when I worked for that and we got to do that. And I love that, that just draws in love of job instead of, I hate these jobs. Why can't I find them? That kind of stuff, right? In addition to that, we have the moon energy coming in here along with the 9 of swords. Yeah. So here there's a lot of and there's the emotion, the fear emotions that have been keeping job away. And they can even be, not conscious fears, but subconscious fears that have been running on autopilot. So that is something that we can, maybe do some sort of, what work you do to communicate with your inner child, whether it's automatic writing or something, and going, boo, what are you so afraid of? Tell me about, what you're feeling, because I feel like that'll be, some good energy. The number 2 here, yep, you have the magician. I love it. Your energy, your power, and the Hierophant. Wow. Power of change. So I love this because this is just confirming that the nine of wands has, one of the wands that's blocking our way is our power. And when I don't have my power, it becomes my block. When I step into my power, realizing I'm the one that draws things in, it's not other people. It's me that draws things in. It's me that changes things. It's not going, help, can you guys change stuff for me? They will help us, but they will also tell us, it's like we're driving the car. We're like, can someone help me change lanes? They're like, yeah, here, change lane. You're the one that has the power, not them, right? And I like that reminder because when we take that power back, then it opens up this place to step through. So I love that. And there's a belief that I have to find something that I don't enjoy because I need the money. It's like, no, you had the Page of Cups on the bottom, which is about, I get to choose something that makes me happy, and then this changes stuff. So I like that. It's like, I'm going to choose something that I would enjoy, and then I get to, head off in that direction. So I love that for you. All right. Let's see what your fortune cookie is from the Rooted Woman Oracle. So what else do we have for Black Goddess? Spirit Healer. All right. You've got the Well Maiden. Beautiful energy. The Voice of the Other World. Ooh. Circle. It's a circle. So it's the circle section. Here we go. There's an old story among the Grail legends which tells that once maidens would emerge from wells throughout the land to offer food and drink to any traveler who came by and was in need of it. Are you going to be a waitress? I'm just kidding. But a bunch. The well maiden's power came from the other world, and it was the source of life for the land. When a king who didn't respect the old ways raped a well maiden, they withdrew back into the wells. As a consequence, the land became a wasteland, and the story tells us the voice of the wells were lost. The link between our world and the other world was broken. The land lost its heart, and we lost the bridge, the divine feminine, which connected us to it. Wow. The well maiden is a living bridge between the other world and our own. She's a conduit for the wisdom of the other world and mediates its life giving force. As an ally on our journey, she invites us to reweave that connection, to remember the time when people and the land were one, when the wisdom of the other world could more easily be accessed. She reminds us that we need to reclaim and honor the divine feminine, to integrate into ourselves the feminine mystery which has been suppressed over countless centuries. Only then can we restore the balance which will lead us out of the wasteland. Only then will the voices of the wells be heard again. Wow. Yes, exactly. I love that. Wow. And this giving energy. And of course, the grounding energy, getting the connection with the divine goddess. And it definitely, I feel like connecting to Mother Earth. I feel like there's something that you've been like ritual and getting back to the heart of your connection to the divine feminine. I feel is an important thing, and I feel like there might be like there's been a pause in that connection with everything that has happened over the last few months. But it's about getting back. It's like a bird that hasn't been singing. It's time to sing again, kind of energy. So I like that. All right. So that is what they have for you, my dear. Wow. All right. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your multiple donations. All right. And we'll give everyone a scoop here on where we're at with everyone. I had several more come in. So we have Johanna, your first one, and then Ave, AIV, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Probably not. Let's see here. So that's that one. And then Ave came over here. Let me just check the timestamps here. All right. Then we have Sean G via CashApp ×3. Oops. Let's do this as we're going along here as well. Okay. And then, whoops. Sorry, I just need to take a look here. Okay. And then Tabitha Collier. Probably, I don't want to mispronounce things. Probably have. ×2. Thank you so much. We'll put those there. Okay, let's see here. 626. All right. And then Mally McTrippy. I love it. And then we have Maria P. Whoops. Okay, and then Johanna, we circle back around, I think, for you. Yes, we do. And it looks like here, Sean G, we circle back around for an additional one there. Okay, we got that. And then Tabitha, we circle around for an additional one for you. I believe, yep. And then Michelle Smith. There's grab your official name here. Whoops, there we go. All right, so that is where we're at on donations. Thank you guys so much. I'm so grateful. Let me just replace some of these with real names here. Or not the real names, but the whatever they call them. And then I think Maria, I think you had yours somewhere here too. There it is. All right. So that is where we're at. We'll get back into here. Oh, you wonder why? Yeah. So YouTube changed something. It was a couple months ago. They did this before, and it was like, whoa, what happened? And I researched it and found out that they were slowly moving everything over to where it shows these, because these are our assigned, like, I forget what the name they use, but it's like our user ID number, which is unique to every single one of us. And then if because they don't limit, like, you can name yourself whatever you want, so we could all be named Amazing Grace, and then but I think that was because there was a lot of people that were pretending to be other people, and they got complaints, and so for security and safety of everyone, they changed it. But they changed it back after a few days, and I was like, thank God, because that was so confusing. But then it just changed like last weekend. We're like, what happened? So we're just kind of going with it for now. But that's why the names are not appearing like they normally are, which I get it. But what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? All right, so let's jump back in. All right. So, Johanna, let's grab yours here for your first one. And you are here. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Thank you again for your multiple donations. Let's get up here to your first one. This is the peach. A little bit of nourishment. So let's find your first question here. All right. Let's see if I can find it here. Hi. I see that here. There it is. You'd love a follow-up read of the recent past as well, right? Life has been crazy weird. Need a day or two in the forest, right? Okay, and then we'll circle around for number 2 for you eventually here as well. So, read of the recent past. So just to understand what life has been crazy weird, just what you want to just know about the past, what's going on here, what they want you to know about it, a little bit about it. Let's see what's going on here. All right. All we have here is the Leo card. That's all we need, really, and the Sun card. So you got both Leo energies back to back. It's just Leo energy. It's just your Leo energy of the season, but it is burning a lot of things. Burning a lot of things, shining light on a lot of things, burning away the things that aren't you anymore, that weren't you, but that you had been taught to, experience and regurgitate and live. But you've been really coming into the true form of who you are, and this makes sense here too. With your Leo energy, it's like you're allowed to step forward in your courage and in your strength and in your brightness and in your fire. And I feel like I'm hearing it's teaching you that you can walk through, you burned your old job, that you can walk through fire and that you can not be burned by it. You might just get a bit warm and sweat a little, but you won't be burned by it because you are made of the sun. I like that. Let's see what else is here. That's just the underlying. Yeah, you got the King of Pentacles. It is for the good. It is for you. King of Pentacles is about abundance. It's what's going to bring you, the weirdness of things is the shaking of things. It's like when you first either get on a boat after never having been on a ship, you have to get used to the going back and forth. And then if you've been on this to get your sea legs, right? And if you've been at sea a long time, when you get to land, you have to get used to not things changing too. So it's a change of transportation in your life that has brought you to this place. You just have to get used to it. You're just learning it. That's the weird feeling I feel. Let's see what else. Yeah, the Nine of Swords. Isn't it interesting as you let go of fears, how the world changes, how the world, there is a lot of clarity that comes in. This is the nightmare and insomnia card, but it is this. As you're letting go of expectations and you're starting to learn to live for yourself and not try to live for everyone else and what you think everyone else wants for you, you just start to, it feels weird. It almost sometimes can feel boring because there's less drama. And, it's like, this is weird. What's happening? Why am I not, so concerned about stuff? And it's like, why am I seeing things differently? And also with that sun shining bright, it's shining light on a lot of things. But I also feel like there's this energy of like, like, let's say I have a hurt arm, and because of my pain in my arm, I don't recognize things. It's not that it's pain, but this is just the example they're giving. I don't recognize there's other lower pain in my body until this gets fixed. And then I'm like, oh, when did my wrist start hurting? And it's like, oh, maybe it's been hurting all along, but I didn't recognize it because this pain was so much. But now that some big things are being removed, you're spotting a lot of smaller things. You're like, why are all these things coming up? It's like they were always there. It just, there was so much more blocking our sight that as we remove these, we start to see other things. So I feel like that's some of what's happening here too. Yeah. And then the Eight of Swords, which is about letting go of thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that used to make you feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted and small and blah, 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 blah. This is the freeing of that, right? And that makes sense. It's right after the Nine of Swords. Is this isn't saying you have these things, it's saying that because you've removed so many of them and that there's this flowing away of things, you're just realizing a lot more. Let's see what's below the surface here. You got the Page of Wands. Yeah. You also have had energetic upgrades, which your energy has just been vroom, 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 and all of humanity is being, it's like we're all garden hoses and the spigot, not the spigot, whatever they call it, the thing that controls the flow of water pressure has been turned up where the flow of energy is more. We're like, whoa, what's happening? why am I feeling these things so big? And it's like they're showing me a scene from Superman with hot Harry Cavill in it. It's like it's the first one. It is the first one where when he finds the ship in the ice in the Antarctic or wherever they're at, and he goes in and it recognizes his that he's from the planet Krypton, and it starts activating and turning on the ship. It's like things are starting to turn on and yeah. Speaking of being turned on, hot Henry Cavill, but there's this, but it's that kind of energy that's happening as well. So you're recognizing more that's coming in. All right, let's see what your fortune cookie brings in for this one as well. So we'll do it on this one because I'll probably forget on the second one. No, I won't forget, but I feel like they want this one for you for this one. You got Lake. What lurks beneath? Yeah, it's like the moon energy. There's been a lot of things that were lurking down below that are coming to the surface here for you. I like that. Whoa. All right. In European myth and folklore, lakes are mysterious, magical, and sometimes ominous places. In Welsh mythology, for example, the Gateway of Annwn, the Welsh name for the other world, could often be found at the bottom of deep lakes. In the Gaelic traditions of Scotland and Ireland, lakes could harbor monsters such as the each Uj, the water horse, who would steal away an unsuspecting maiden and carry her to his home at the bottom of the lake to be his wife. Be aware of the water horse. That's me saying that. It doesn't say that in the book. The ancient Greek philosopher Socrates exhorted us to know thyself. Shut up. And in that spirit, the lake card invites us to confront our own monsters and to explore our shadow side. According to Carl Jung, the shadow archetype isn't necessarily the dark side of us. It represents all the personal traits we've ignored, denied, and cut off from our awareness in order to create what we imagine to be a functioning personality. This is what we're talking about, right? You're coming into the knowledge of who you are. In working with the shadow, our aim should not be to suppress or repress any aspect of who we are, but to come to know all sides of ourselves. To integrate the shadow is to confront our inner demons and acknowledge the darkness within us, because being conscious of this is the only way to understand and deal with our destructive tendencies. This work then involves the inner strength card that you got, and commitment to be able to question our core beliefs and values. But the rewards are great. In coming to understand who we really are, we can make significant progress along our heroine's journey and move into a new, authentic, and meaningful stage of life. Shut up. I love it. So hopefully that helps understand the weird energy that you've been feeling lately. That's what they have for you for the first one. We'll circle back around for number 2 here in a momentito. Actually, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, in about 8 or 9 readings from now. So we'll circle back. If you need to sleep, you can get the other one in the morning if you want. I know you're on the other side of the planet. All right. Okay, very good. All right, so Ave, you are up. Let's grab yours, 137.28. We'll bring that in here. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. So Ave, thank you for your donation via the PayPal. So, and I do see your question over here. So there's something that you're waiting for to happen. Dun, dun, dun. Will it happen by the end of this month, or are you wasting your time? All right, let's take a sip here. All right. Let's see what we got here, Ave. All right. Okay. Is it relationship oriented? I don't know. We'll take a look here. Well, you do have a progression. You have 1 card, then 2 cards, and then 3 cards. The bottom of the deck, the bottom of the deck, you have the 6 of Cups here and the Lover's card. And then the first card that came out, the number 1 card, is the 2 of Cups, which is another relationship energy. All 3 of these tell me about an important relationship energy. So I don't know if this was relationship oriented, but if it was, so we do have this nudge and this forward progression energy that's coming in here. That it's someone who it's a fated relationship. And we'll find out more here, like to answer your question of, are you wasting time? Should you just move on or not? But I feel like it's fated. You have a lot of past life connections with the 6 of Cups energy. So there is this energy of everything that's unfolding is for you to help you move through some emotions and experience emotions from the past that were it's not karmic debt. I don't believe in spirit has told me we don't have karmic debt, and it's not a negative thing. It's we have emotions from the past which we haven't fully explored yet is a better way to say it, a more truthful way it feels to say it, that I might have emotions that I felt, but I didn't feel it to the extremity, or want to experience the movement through the emotion, and I didn't get to it in the past lifetimes. So there's some stuff I do want to flow through in this lifetime, but I do feel like there is this connection type of energy that's there. The second step here is the 10 of Swords and the 4 of Pentacles. I feel like a big part of this energy, this definitely feels for me like more of a stepping stone type of event in your life or person, because the 10 of Swords is about letting go of all the expectations, the supposed to be, the should be, the need to be, the have to be, the must be, in relationship to my worth. And of course, we growing up as humans are taught, define yourself by all this long list of supposed to be and should be and need to be and have to be and must be's. And that includes relationships, that this is who that person is supposed to be, what they're supposed to bring into the relationship, how the relationship is supposed to progress, what it's supposed to bring me, who I'm supposed to be in the relationship, blah, blah, blah. Long list of stuff that just sucks the life out of things, right? And this can be, if it's not a relationship, if I'm not if because it could be situational. It doesn't have to be a person, but any kind of situation that we're experiencing. It's helping us release all this, because when we experience a lot of disappointment in things, or things are not unfolding the way I think they're supposed to be, it allows us to face that feeling of I'm not in control of that out there, right? And so it's an interesting energy that's coming in here. It's like, whoa, so I like this. I feel like the answer here is that it's fated to happen, but maybe not in the way that you think it's supposed to happen, if that makes sense. Let's see what the third thing is here. We got the 7 of Cups, a lot of different emotions to experience through this. We do have the 7 of Swords, which does show us our own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that have cheated us out of opportunities. And we'll see that reflected in the outside world back to us too. So there can be some deception, there can be some misunderstanding of the truth and communication with the 7 of Swords. What's the last one here? Oh my God, 777. Also got the 7 of Wands, which ultimately all of this brings you the clarity to allow you to be like, I am not going to, it's like a breaking of a cycle. I'm not going to dim my light. I'm not going to go off of these mindsets that have made me feel blinded and bound and restricted and trapped and trying to be something that I think I'm supposed to be, because then someone will love me, or that this will mean something about me if I get this person, this thing, this situation, whatever it is. But there's this freedom. 777. I love this spiritual energy. There is a definitely purpose to all of what's unfolding here. And I do feel like something definitely unfolds here. Yeah, even the bottom of the deck, under all that, you have the 3 of Pentacles, which both of these energies here are about being true to the authentic you, that this stepping stone allows you to break free of trying to live your life by what you were taught, these opinions of supposed to be, to come true, more true to your authentic self. So I do feel like with all of this that it does come to fruition, but not in the way that you expect it to, but it does show you what you have wanted to see from the situation to set yourself free, to do that. What I'm being reminded of, and this may not be relationship oriented, but this, the example they're giving me. My mom with my father, there was a big long history of stuff between them. They were married for over 20 years, not happily, and he ended up asking her for a divorce, and it crushed her in the beginning. Well, lo and behold, after they both were married and divorced, number twos, and yeah, this is before number three for my dad. My mom stayed single after her second divorce. She was like, I'm done with that. But we all came back together. Our entire family came back to Colorado Springs, where I lived. After everyone being separate places, everyone came back here. My mom and dad dated for like 3, 4, 5 months, or I forget exactly how long it was. It wasn't more than a year. It feels like more like less than 6 months. And I lived in the basement. My mom even moved over and was living with them for a little while until one day I came home from work and there's all this stuff piled in the living room. I'm like, and I went and looked in the bedroom and she had stuff in her bedroom, and I'm like, oh, she's back. And then she walked in from the kitchen and she was basically said, I was tired of the same crap and everything, and I decided to leave this time. This is that energy of seeing this energy, that is, I get to choose me and be true to myself. So I feel like this is a stepping stone of realizing I get to choose what I want and what I don't want. And I feel like there's that kind of energy around the situation, whatever it may be. And then let's see what your fortune cookie says in here. Hopefully this helps. Hey, catching up. You're very welcome. Thank you. Let's see what else they have to say here. So you've got cave, incubation. Got the number 3 here of the triangle. Sorry, so in my eye. All right. Throughout Europe, our ancestors descended in the caves to listen to the whisperings of the other world. It was believed that the other world would grant prophetic visions to those who came to the caves, and so many ancient oracles were located in them. Seers, shamans, poets, and other intermediaries between humans and the divine would practice prolonged isolation in caves in their search for knowledge and illumination. Such visions could be received from ancestors as well as from the gods. Initiatory rituals often took place in the caves. They were key to the Eleusinian, Dionysian, Orphic, and Mithraic mystery traditions of ancient Greece and Rome. Caves are dark and womb-like, and the passages which lead to them reflect the process of birth, the journey out of the safety of the womb and into an uncertain world. The entry passages are also characteristic of near-death experiences. The cave, then, is a portal to new life. I love that. Good night, collector. Good to see you. Hopefully we'll see some more of you. So the rebirth, which begins to be dreamed into being in the cave, is at the heart of the heroine's journey. The cave card then invites us to shut ourselves away for a while from the clamor of the outside world, which I feel is what you've been doing, right? Held safely in the soft and healing darkness, we can begin to reimagine ourselves. Here in the cave is where our transformation begins, a profound and lasting transformation, which can only emerge from the time spent in the darkest of places. Wow. Yeah, so I feel like there is this energy of incubating. I feel like, again, that you're learning a lot through the situation that unfolds, but because I feel like it doesn't unfold to your expectations. It does unfold, but you're like, but I don't want this, and I don't need it to be this for me. I just feel like it brings a lot of awareness for you through all that. So Hopefully that helps. All right, so that's what they have for you, Ave. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. All right, and then Sean G, you are up. We have you at 150 even here. Your timestamp down here. This is for the first 3. Boom, boom, boom. All right. I don't think we've got. Okay. Yeah. So a couple of these do have the questions here, but your first one, 621. So it should be up here. Let's find you. Maybe. I think I should be able to. Hey, there you are. All I do is I look for your red hair and your little picture. I'm like, there she is. All right. So yeah, this is for your first one. So the people from PA called you, but you missed the call. Oh my gosh. And you call back and they didn't answer. Of course. Can you see the update they had for you? All right, let's take a look. Tap into their energies here. Let me take a quick sip. All right. Step into that energy. Okay. All right. All right. Well, we have the 2 of Swords coming in at the bottom energy. So they need to, I know, ask a question about a choice. I think they have something to tell. Well, they have something to tell you. But it's like, do you want this or this option? I feel like they need to ask you a question to get your decision on something, on how and etc. Let's see what else they have here too. Yeah, Page of Swords. I thought here too. All the swords, this communication. They do have updated information, of course, but I feel like they have clarification. And we're like, oh my God, are you serious? You don't have everything you guys need? Well, we need this other form, or we need this information, and we need to, because you need to decide you want to do this or this, then you need to fill out this form for this or this form for this. It just feels like that kind of, but at least it's progress, it's movement, which we're grateful for, right? But I feel like that's kind of what this is about. Yeah, the 3 of Swords. Ugh. So it's not, it does feel disappointing, right? You were like, I was hoping that it was going to be, hey, where can we mail you the check or whatever, right? But it's like, well, no, we need this decision. And it's like, oh, are you serious? You couldn't have had me do that way back then. Well, no. But so it's a little disappointing that it's not like what the message that you want to get, but it's progress and it's movement, right? Underneath the surface, you have 2 cards, Ace of Wands. Yeah, so there is action happening. This is action and movement. We like the 3 of Pentacles, which is, it is, of course, Pentacles is coin, so we like that. It will benefit you with that 3 of Pentacles energy, because it is about, even though it's below the 3 of Swords, even though the 3 of Swords is expectations equal disappointment, the 3 of Pentacles is kind of like that gratitude energy. It's, it is about abundance. It is about receiving, and it's about community. I don't know if things are being split, but, or if there's something to do with this, but it just has to do with, and it's an obstacle with receiving this, and that's okay. It's, delaying it, but there is movement with the Ace of Wands. Ultimately, we have the Chariot, which is victory and movement again. That's coming in. Power of choice energy. 2 of Swords is also power of choice energy. So a lot of what's happening, it's happening for us always, right? But it is an energy of, I get to choose the story of what I apply to the situation. If I get angry about it or frustrated or sad, that's okay. Feel the feels, let it go for 90 seconds. Throw a pillow, something that won't break, right? And then realize, all right, I'm going to choose to go. Delay happens on purpose for me. Like, I really wanted this to be able to go to that reunion or this or that or whatever. It's like, maybe it saved your life. Maybe there was going to be a trouble with the plane or a car accident on the way from or to the airport or whatever, and you were spared. If you can look at it as a story of that, this is always happening for me, then that changes our experience with it. Or there's neither right or wrong choices. It's just different experience with different outcomes. If you choose a higher vibrational story around this, it'll speed things up. If I choose a lower vibrational story around something, it slows it down, right? Which that's not what we want, right? Right. So that's what they have for your first one. Hey! So I feel like that's what they're calling about, is some sort of form or paper or decision that you have to make. And there's paperwork in regards to the decision that you would make that has to be filled out or completed, blah, blah, blah. Yay. All right. So hopefully that prepares you for the conversation a little. All right. And we'll pull your fortune cookie on your number 3 here. I know we have a 4th one. We will, circle back around for that as well. All right. So thank you for your first donation. For number 2, this is about K, right? So let's take a look here. All right. So what are K's thoughts and feelings towards you, right? Thoughts and feelings. Thoughts and feelings? Thoughts and feelings, huh? All right. What's below the surface, though? We don't want any of those. Let's get the skinny here on the thoughts. Need the backstory. Need the background check on their thoughts and their emotions here. Okay, I've got this too. These two. All right. Yeah, they definitely like your fire here. On the bottom of the deck, you do have the Queen of Wands, fire energy. They like your fieriness. There's a lot of passion. They love your energy. So there's energetic. Of course, there's a lot of energetic and physical attraction that's bubbling below your reading here. Their thoughts, the Hierophant, their thoughts have been changing here. Seeing this is like gaining clarity, seeing things from a higher perspective. And I like this because I feel like they kind of put you in a box. Like they have this kind of, not stereotyping, but well, I guess it is in a way, but all these boxes, like when they, okay, you're like this, oh, you're like this. They just kind of 3 boxes. They keep it simple. They just chunk people in these boxes. Oh, you're like this. Oh, you're like this. You're like this. Very, I don't want to say judgmental, but just quick to make a conclusion about thoughts about people. Like really, like I know who people are. They don't. They think they know who they are, and it's their perceptions, but it's what they do to make themselves feel safe. The inner child needs to be able to put people in boxes so that they're like, okay, it's not an unknown. It's a known, that's how our inner child works. It doesn't like the unknown. It likes consistent and everyone to be blah, blah, blah. 3 boxes, everything fits into them. But what's been happening is with this 5, the number of change is that as they've been interacting with you more and more, they're like, you don't belong in any of these boxes, kind of energy. So they're really getting to know you and see you differently. Below the surface, their thoughts, yeah. The Tower card. Ooh, okay, yeah. And the 6 of Swords. Here's that movement of thought and belief and mindset with the 6 of Swords. And but it's interesting with this energy I'm feeling, because as I'm getting clarity, it is creating this fear. This Tower card is, there's like, the inner child energy is really coming in strong from them, in that if I can't know that beyond a shadow of a doubt I can be successful in something, I'm not going to do it. And this is this energy, this fear of failure, because if I fail, people will abandon me and leave me, so I cannot fail. So thus, I got to be sure of something before I go forward in it. So their thoughts are really, I love the intrigue. I love how they're looking at you as unexpected kind of energy, but it's freaking their little inner child out. So the little alarm systems are going off. And I feel like their thoughts are to flee because it's stranger danger, the little inner child. Not that you're a danger, you're just different. Yeah. So you're like, what's happening? It's like, you're not normal, which is the energy that's there. So that's funny. So that's very, very interesting. Let's look at their feelings. That's the mind, which is the seat of all the fear energy, right? But into the heart, let's see what we got there. Yeah, Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is this energy of walking away from, emotions that don't serve anymore. So this is that fleeing energy. Let's see what's really below the surface. Yeah, the Seven of Wands energy and the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah. Their emotions here, I mean, I feel like they have they're on a journey, of course, like we all are, but they're really in this journey. Hear what he said? Yeah, he flakes. Run. Right, yay. We'll see what these other cards bring in here too, but there is this energy here, like the Nine of Pentacles is, I need to find my worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. And the Seven of Wands is, I need to be true to my authentic self and I need to stand strong. And this is what they're trying to, it's like this energy. And this is what they see in you, the Seven of Wands, especially with that Queen of Wands. They see like this in you, that I want to be able to be like you. The perception of you from their heart is someone who is strong and has a good sense of who they are and will not shrink themselves for anyone, and boundaries, and so you're coming across very strong, and that's what they want for themselves. But because they're not in that place, it is overwhelming for them. The word intimidated, not intimidating, but they are intimidated. And that's okay. That's what they need to face. You're being that perfect mirror for that. And I like that, because we are not intimidating. People can be intimidated, but that's because of where they're at in their walk and their sense of self. So that's why they wanted to make sure you are not intimidating, because there's a lot of people that are not intimidated by you. If you were intimidating, everyone would be, but you're not. And so it's, important to know, this energy that comes out there with that Eight of Cups. And with that, let's see what else they want you to know here too. You have two other sets here. You got the Six of Pentacles, yeah, and the Hermit, yeah. You're like codependent relationship energy that comes from them. Codependency, this need to be an overgiver, but they don't feel like they can outgive you, and so it's like this Hermit. I feel like they feel like they're better off not going that direction, like we talked about, right? Yeah. And then, yeah, the Knight of Cups and the Hanged Man. Yeah. They definitely can use some time alone. The Hanged Man is transformation energy, movement of their emotions. And I like that they're bringing me back to it, because they have they express themselves through passion more so than emotion. So motion instead of emotion, because they haven't experienced a lot of self-love before, right? And so they don't know how to love themselves. They're in this journey to understand their worth because they don't have that self-love. So what they learned is that they express themselves through passion and movement and action, but they really are on this journey to try to understand their heart. But overall, the energy, I feel like that just helps you understand that they're on this journey, has nothing to do with you. That you're just a mirror reflecting back what they want to see about themselves, and vice versa. It didn't happen by accident. You are learning some things about yourself, going, what bubbles up with your interactions with them? That's for you. But I feel like you are really showing them a lot about themselves that they wanted to see so that they can transform and find their self-love. But for now, I feel like hermit. All right, so that's what they have for that one there. So that was for number 2. And then for number 3, and then we'll get you your timestamp here too. Will you sell paintings to P? All right. Oh, right. Yeah. So take it for what it is, Just don't it's kind of your own thing of letting your expectations go about who they need to be and whatever, and just allow whatever is. It's just zero expectations. Whatever they give is what they give, and it's great. I'm not going to expect anything from them. When they do something, you're like, wow, this is great. But I feel like it'll be a more enjoyable adventure if you let expectations go around them. That's funny. Your spirit guides. All right, let's take a look here. So tapping into the selling of paintings to be based on current energies. Will you sell paintings to P? Okay, that is it. All right. Well, bottom of the deck, we do have the 2 of Cups energy that's here, which is an important relationship. And you also have the World card and the Fool card, an ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. So I do feel like with this energy of victory and a new adventure, this is, very positive energies. We'll see what the other cards come in here. But these do feel like it's the beginning of something more too, and around paintings and maybe selling them. Like I feel like that, kind of maybe triggers. I don't know if they have like a gallery or if they know people, and people will be like, oh my God, I love that. And they're like, yeah, I know that I had it, this, I bought it from this person. They have a lot more here. Check out their site, or here, I'll give you their card, or I'll give them your number, or whatever. I just feel like there's more to it that comes from it too. Yeah, the 7 of Pentacles. I feel like it's normally the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. But I feel like here with the 6 of Wands energy coming in here too, there is this great, it's been kind of something that's been slowly evolving, but the 6 of Wands is a victory energy for you, and it's a positive thing. So I do feel like there is that you do, and that there is more that comes with that as well. So I like it. All right, let's give you your fortune cookie, and then we will circle back around for number 4 eventually here as well. I think you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more away, 6 more away. Tabitha has 2. All right, well, here is your energy. Wow. I love it. Whoa. Fertility and creativity. Sheila Nagig. Card number 10. And of course, you usually get some sort of creativity card for you. Here we go. So in Britain and Ireland, scattered among medieval churches, castles, holy wells, bridges, and town walls, you'll find a surprisingly large number of stone carvings of women exposing their hoo-has, their genitals, it says, either pointing at their vulvas or holding them open with their hands. These figures are called Sheila Gigs. The upper half of their bodies are old and death-like, with withered breasts and skeletal ribs, skull-like heads, and hollow eyes. But the lower half reminds us of a woman's sexuality, her fertility, the act of giving birth. Wow. It's the endings and beginnings energy, right? These figures are believed to represent folk goddesses associated with fertility and childbirth, but also with the lands of the dead. Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. Boom, boom. In the oldest European traditions, the two attributes almost always go together. There are two sides of the ubiquitous Great Mother archetype, death and birth. Every life bears within it the seed of its own death, but no end is ever less than a new beginning. Wow. Endings and beginnings, death and rebirth as well. So as an ally along our journey, the Sheila Nagig is a midwife who reminds us of the energy and power of our creativity as women and of the nature of our fertility, which changes over the course of our lives. Fertility isn't just about giving birth to children, but about birthing all kinds of life into the world. Yeah, this was really for you, right? Boom. Wow. I love that. So, wow. Yeah, and 10 is the number of endings and beginnings too, which was on the card. So I love that. Oh my gosh. So perfect. So perfect. And especially talking about paintings, etc. All right. So that is what they have for you for this one, my dear. Oh my goodness. Thank you again for your multiple donations. Like I said, we'll circle back around for number 4 here in about 2, 3, 4, 5 more readings. All right. Wow. I love spirit. I just love spirit. All right. So Tabitha, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. And this is for times 2. We will circle back around for number 3 for you as well. All right. All right, Deb, thank you so much. Let me just give. Oops, it's for no. Let me see up here. Here they are. So let's give the first one. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, Debbie's daughter, Tab. Hey, good to see you. Absolutely. Hi, Mom. You guys are so great. So number 1 and number 2. All right, so you have those down here, Deb. Thank you so much. So number 1, a general reading, just overall, and then 2, a general reading. All right. Oh, yeah, I get it, because that you guys are, it's after 10 on the East Coast, so at least you'll have the timestamps to give her. Well, she'll be able to come back on and see them too. All right, so we'll go visit her in her dreams. Tabitha. All right, so let's take a look here. Number 1, what does Spirit wants you to know here? General reading, what they want you to know right now. I want this one. This one is underlying energy here. And all right. Excuse me. So the bottom of the deck, we do have the Two of Swords coming in here. So this is an energy of decisions to be made and being at a kind of a crossroads energy. That's coming in, and so Spirit just is going to bring you in some information that will help you in the decision making process. I do feel like they're saying it's difficult to make decisions when we don't have all the information we need, because as soon as you get the information you need, it'll be a no-brainer decision that will come up. You're up, hey! Shh, don't tell your mother. She's like, you better go to bed. No, like when you were a young child, right? So good to see you. So thank you for your donations. So let's take a look here and see what we have here. Yeah, the Fool card. The Fool card is the beginning of a new adventure. It's the first card in the major arcana, following the World card, which is an ending of an old cycle. This is the beginning of a new adventure. It's like you're ready to move forward. You're ready to start this journey. So I feel like there is this awareness for your decision making, is that you're ready for something new. You're ready for a world of possibilities instead of feeling like you'll go back into the same cage that you've been in. Because the thing about the Fool card, it's like the childlike possibilities. Like, the world is my oyster. There's so much I could do if I get out of my head of expectations of supposed to be and should be and need to be and have to be and must be energy that comes in here. And so I like this feeling that comes with this of, I don't have to do what I don't want to do. I get to go in a direction that makes me feel free instead of trapped. So I like that. It's not that you need permission. I feel like you just have to, it's like awareness of going forward, right? Yeah, because you have the Devil card, Capricorn, Saturn energy. The Devil card is the shaking and the rattling of our cage, shaking a lot of long-held beliefs of, it's usually, I like a lot of the tarot that shows someone in a cage, but the door is open. The cage we have is the cage of our mind, which is Capricorn, overthinking energy of Capricorn, which is especially around work, because they rule over the 10th house of work, the supposed to be, the should be, the need to be, all this long held things that trap our heart from being able, where we end up feeling like we're existing instead of living. But this is this freedom that comes in with the Fool card, with this decision, is one road feels dark and goes down into a dungeon. The other goes up on a hill and you see the bright sunlight. And so it's like, you know which way you want to go. It's just a matter of letting go of the old thoughts and beliefs of, like, responsibility is what underlies a lot of our, well, this is the thing I should do. But it's like, but why do something that makes us feel trapped in where I'm going to have to use, even if it's a lot of money or abundance that I feel I'll get if I go down a certain path, or wholeness of some kind. If it's at the sacrifice of my heart, I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm just going to use abundance to take care of my health for being sick from all the energy of choosing the dungeon. Because you go down to that dark dungeon, there's rats, and it's, not clean, and it's ugly. I'm going to get the plague down there. Over here, I'm going to be free and have fresh air to breathe, right? That's funny. Your spirit guides are funny. Any of the Seven of Wands? Yeah, I love it. Seven of Wands energy usually has someone up on a hill, and it's about being like the sun, not asking permission to shine, not dimming your light for anyone, but just being you. And if someone can't handle the heat, then they can just get out of the sun. They can get in the shade, get in the cellar, put on a giant hat with glasses and put on a bunch of sunscreen. If you can't handle it, that's up to them. But the sun doesn't have expectations. They just shine bright and they are themselves. So this is about choosing a path that is more true to your authentic self, not the self that we've been conditioned over our lifetime through everything to try to be that, right? Underlying energy under that Seven of Wands is the Six of Wands, which is an energy of celebrating yourself. It's a movement, a flow energy. It's about realizing that everything that you've been through in life has brought you and shaped and molded you in a way, but also if you think about, like, as we're growing up, we're handed a bunch of wet paper mache slips, and people, handing them to us, we have to take them and we put them on ourselves, like someone saying, this is what you should be, this is what you should be. We're just taking it from all over places, movies and news and our friends and family and work and school and religions and blah 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 blah, books and everything else. And we're just slapping all this stuff on us before we realize that we're like these mummies. We're like someone that was in a bad skiing accident. We're just, all you see is our eyes and two holes for our nose and our mouth so we can eat. The rest of us, maybe our fingers so we can, but the rest of us is, and that's how we end up feeling when we're trying to be what we're not, because we have taken on all these things. But we reach a point in our life where we're like, I can't take it anymore. We start ripping off the old ways. It's like we burn away or pull away and tear away the things that are no longer true to our authentic self. And the Six of Wands is I start celebrating who I am, not focusing on who I'm not. And I focus on the things I love about me, about my abilities, my gifts, what I've loved about my life. And so there's a great energy that comes in with this, a change of mindset around everything that allows you to go on this other path. Where it's leading you, is to self-love, the Ace of Cups, allowing yourself to fill up, and then everyone else gets the overflow, instead of being like a barrel where you feel like you're giving everything away to everyone else and you end up exhausted and you continue to give until you feel resentful. And then, but you trade in that barrel that you were for this Ace of Cups. You get to fill up first, then everyone else gets overflow. And it's definitely this feeling of fullness that comes in. And here's the sun. So like that Seven of Wands, you get to shine bright. You know, the sun doesn't go, all right, Earth and Mars and all these planets, you need to give me this, and then I will agree to shine on you. And the Earth, and okay, we'll allow you to do that if you do this, sun. No, the sun just shines bright. Everyone just accepts the growth and birth and the love that comes from the sun that allows us to live. And I like this, just shining bright and being true to yourself, I feel like is what this energy is. So I'm glad this is helpful. We'll pull number 2 for you here too. Then we'll get you your fortune cookie, and then we'll circle back around for number 3. If you haven't put your third question out there, make sure to do that too, just in case. I will see that eventually. All right. So this one was about a general work reading, right? All right. So what do they want you to know about work? The other one was just for your entire life, which includes work. But let's see what they want you to know specifically for work. Right. Got a little bit of progression energy going on here. Let's see, I do want that one and this one. And it's like these two under here. This one I want it for up here. All right. Yay, I love that. Well, yeah, and then the underlying energy for your work reading is the 10 of Cups, which is joy and celebration, but it's about following your joy and doing what brings you joy. And that's the amazing thing. Sometimes we'll choose money over our joy because it's what we're taught. I know money makes the world go around, and it is what brings us shelter and food and all sorts of fun stuff, right? As well. So, we have that, that energy that's there. Um, so I like this, that for job, it's about finding, that type of job, because when we follow our joy, it will, bring us that um, satisfaction, that we actually move up and move fast in our energy and draw things in as well, um, when we're following our joy. Whereas when we're following our fears, we end up in a downward circle as well. So we'll dive in here and see what this is. Hey, Navian, I see your question. You've posted it like 7 times. So I know sometimes on your end it doesn't show, but I do see it. So you don't need to post it anymore. I do see it. All right, so let's take a look here. I do show progression, 1 card, and then 2 cards, and then 3 cards. So something is building on your job area here. Well, look, got the 7 of Wands to start off here. Be true to the authentic you. Do something that is authentically you, not something to settle for. Sometimes we do. You love your work? Oh, I love it. It is your heart. So that is what's important, is not to worry about, so many people, end up imprisoned in a job, and then get comfortable or fearful in the money and stuff. And then like, oh, I can't leave now. And it's like, well, we make decisions in our life. We're able to follow our joy. We will sacrifice things that we think we're supposed to have when really it doesn't matter to us. We clear away a lot of things out of our life that cost money, that we think we're supposed to have. Like I never thought I would ever be without a vehicle, because I had this strong belief that if you don't have a vehicle, you're a loser from very early in my life. And it took me quite a long time of really contemplating insurance and gas and car payments and everything else, and titling and upkeep and everything else, to go, I don't even drive that much. And then it just worked out. I had situations where I didn't need one anymore, and that's a lot of expense that's out of the way. Even if it was, and luckily the people that host me, they have vehicles, and they're like, if you need it, just let me know, or they'll drive me or whatever. And I'm like, wow. Who would have thunk? Sometimes we think things have to be a certain way, and we question those, and we're free from them, right? But the 7 of Wands, back to this, being true to the authentic me, what I want and what I need, not what I think I'm supposed to need or want or have. Oh, all that fun stuff. What's next? The 2 cards here, you have the 4 of Cups energy with the 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, the 2 of Pentacles, you can see how that's like a cycle energy around going in circles in the outside world. It's like, shh, shh, shh. And the 4 of Cups is an energy. It's a card of emotional stability, but then it leads to stagnancy. And that's what kind of happens here, is when we realize, when we're continuing doing the same thing day in and day out, that we're going to get the same result. And after a while, we realize, I'm going to start questioning some of this stuff, because then the pattern changes. It's like suddenly things shift. It's funny, they're reminding me, there's a solitaire game that I play on the computer when I just need to veg out and just step out of the world. And you start to do it, and then you get stuck, and you can hit back, and reverse. Well, if I keep choosing the same cards to go on the same things, I'm going to end up with the same result, but just a little switch of something suddenly opens up, and you solve the riddle. And I feel like that's kind of what's going on in life here, is like there's just a little alteration of something that will just change everything for you. regarding work life. And I just feel like I feel like like you have the understanding of what needs to change. It's just a matter of the how. I feel like is coming in here. Let's see what this going to the third stage is here for you. Because you got the Six of Swords. Yeah, this is letting go of old ways of thinking, moving to new ways of thinking, seeing things differently, allows movement from choppy waters to calmer waters. And it's an energy too of when mindsets change, they turn into actions in the outside world that create change in the outside world. But it starts with the change here that creates a change out there, which then the Fool card, you begin a new adventure, free to be you, like your first reading. And the Empress. Oh, I love that. The Empress energy, she is mother nature, mother nurture, nurturing yourself, following your heart. Um, it's about nurturing, so much about nurturing yourself and doing for you, but it's about creativity and abundance and fullness that moves forward with that too. So I like this choosing. It's like that Ace of Cups, choosing for you, filling up, and then everyone else gets the overflow. But it's a time for you in your life here. Underlying energy, you've got the Justice card that's coming in here. And the Ace of Swords. We have this here too. I'm just gonna, hey, Navy, I see your reading. I'm just gonna put you in a timeout here. Just for 30 minutes here, because I don't think, if you don't see it, I've seen you've kind of spamming my chat, so I'm just going to put you in a little timeout. Not out of punishment, just because I don't know if you're getting my message that I've seen your message here. I'm probably not going to get to free readings tonight anyway, because I'm only going to be, I've got a bunch more donations to do, and I only got 30 minutes before I've been on for 3 hours, so probably not going to get them to the free readings tonight. But I'll talk more about that in a sec. Sorry, Tab. I just needed to deal with that real quick. But the Justice card and the Ace of Swords. The Justice card, she normally has the Ace of Swords with the balancing scales, which both the Ace of Swords and the Justice card talk about, again, seeing things from a different perspective, a higher perspective, is what allows you to, the two sides of the scale are the thoughts and beliefs of what I need to do and should do and supposed to do, all those expectations that are rooted in fear and opinion, and the clarity of seeing things from a higher perspective, from a place of not that allows us to, clear away these fears and transform it into like higher wisdom and seeing things from that higher perspective. So again, it comes back to all that clarity of mind set. Why do I believe that? When I'm like, well, I should do this. Well, should, supposed to, need to, have to, must, all of those are expectation words. And when we realize that, then we realize, oh, this is me on autopilot trying to do what I've always thought I'm supposed to do. But when we question, what is it that I want to do, step out of the fears and look at things from that higher perspective, we definitely make change. And even have the Hierophant on the bottom, the Master of Change, which also is about seeing things from a higher perspective. So being drawn to see things differently seems to be a theme, and I love that for you. So that's what we have for those two. Let me grab your fortune cookie here from the Rooted Woman Oracle. And I don't know, I didn't have a chance to look under your third donation, but if you have a Third question, if you haven't put that down, make sure to do that here, because I will complete it tonight. Depending on how far I'm here in 30 minutes, I might need to step away for a little bit and come back and finish all the readings. Oh, health? Okay. Thank you, Deb. All right. So your fortune cookie for this evening, you got Bridge, the place between worlds. How perfect. So card 13. So the bridge in this card is an in-between place. On one side of the chasm, I think it's chasm, right, lies the mundane world and the life we know we've now outgrown. On the other side, the other world shimmers, alight with promise and possibility. The bridge invites us to step over. But do we really believe in that magical new world across the water? Do we really believe it will be quite so bright and shiny after we've crossed? I love this. It's perfect for where you're at. The bridge is a point of transition from one place to another, or from one way of being to another. It's a liminal place, a place between stories, where the old story is fading and a new one is waiting to emerge. Its invitations are manifold as we hover on the brink of profound transformation. But as we stand there on the bridge, we're asked to embrace uncertainty. This is a time of waiting, of not quite knowing the future. Can we trust in a possible future anyway? Is that magical land really as good as it looks? Can we accept the risk of leaving our known, safe, and familiar old world behind and make the decision to cross to the indeterminate new one? I will complete all this evening. So we'll definitely get to it sometime tonight. So the bridge card calls on us to believe in the possibility of a new world and a new life, and in the new story that's unfolding before our eyes. In one sense, what's required is a leap of faith. The structure of the bridge is solid and sure beneath our feet, but we can only know this once we've taken the first step to cross it. Ooh, how perfect. How perfect is that? Dun, 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 dun. All right. So that is what they have for you for those. And yeah, yours is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to go here. So we'll come back around for that. Good to meet you though, and thank you again for your donations. So we will complete those. All right. All right. So Mally McTrippy, love it. You are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. I love it. Perfect. All right. All right. Oh, here it is up here. All right. So Mally, thank you so much for your donation. And you'd like a love reading, please. Possible initials and zodiac of future. You're a Cancer Krabby Patty. You're, oh. All right, let's take a looky here and see what they will let us know here. So, love for Mally McTrippy. All right, we got these. We've got this one, and this one, and this one. Okay, let's see what we got here. I do have some charms here. Let's see if we pull out initials. Let's see, do we have any letters here? Ooh, we've got a couple letters. We got O, M, and Q that are coming in here. Oh, and I think we have Q twice because it's a cursive Q. So I can't hold them up because you wouldn't see, do you see them? But I like that. Um, so it's a combination. In fact, it might even be, I don't know why, because you had McTrippy, maybe it's McQueen or something like that. Those are your initials. And I didn't get any Zodiac. I have Zodiac signs in there too, but maybe they'll come through here. Bottom of the deck, you do have the Star card, which is a bit of a dream come true energy. It's Aquarius energy as well, but we'll see if there's any other indication of Zodiac signs that come in here. But well, let's see what they have here. You do have a bit of a countdown with 3 cards and 2 cards and 1 card and 1 card. So it feels like we're headed towards something here. You do have the 2 of Swords that's coming in, along with the 4 of Pentacles and the Judgment card as well. The combination of this, I feel like here, that it's more of a forewarning of that there are like 2 individuals here with the 2 of Swords that are stepping stones, meaning that they're going to teach you something, or maybe you've had 2 exes, but there's 2 relationships that come before this one that we're talking about here, with those initials. So these 2 that come in here, they teach you here with that 4 of Pentacles and the Judgment card of what you realize what you don't want in a relationship. And also it brings you awareness of how maybe in the past that you've been, like us all, we're taught to define our worth by the outside world, by our relationships, by situations, by things. But because we're focusing on love and relationships, I feel like they teach you going, when I define myself by other people's actions and non-actions, their words or their silence, I feel like crap. Because they're unstable, and thus I feel unstable and my worth feels unstable. And I feel like that you've been learning, and if you haven't had these 2 yet, maybe we'll see here, but they're showing you that my worth comes from inside of me, not from outside of me. Outside of me is retail price. Inside of me is my self-worth, because self-worth is from self, not from the outside world. That's retail price. What do I think I'm worth to other people, and what do I feel other people put my worth as, right? And retail price, we always end up on the clearance rack. That's why we feel unstable and feel like crap, right? And then it all points us back inward, so that you won't bring this into this relationship, a very important love in your life that comes after them. Let's see what else we have here. You have the 5 of Cups. Yes, we like that, with the 10 of Wands. Yeah. So there is a bit of energy here, and I feel like your love reading is showing you the energy that can transform, and that the steps that you've been on already. And I do feel like there is going to be, you don't have to have 2, but it's the fork in the road, that there's 2 stepping stones. It's like you don't have to step on 2 stepping stones. You only need to step on 1. You don't have to step and go forward. You can step and go forward, or step and then go forward. But so it's like you have a possibility of 2 life lesson interactions with people, but you only it's like your spirit guides are saying, you only have required yourself to go through 1. You have 2 if you really want to learn it really, really well, but you don't have to. You are the one, of course, before you came down here said, this is what I want, and I'll have a second option just in case I want to learn it doubly good, right? But you are learning here with the 5 of Cups and the 10 of Wands of how much energy I've been investing trying to make other people happy, when you realize that you can't. This is the thing you learn, is that I can give someone the world and they can still choose to be unhappy. And maybe you've had some of that already. in past relationships, even friendships and family and different things, where you're realizing when you were growing up, you were taught, you are responsible for my feelings because you made mommy sad, you made daddy mad, or whoever, right? And we're taught as children, oh, I'm responsible for other people's happiness and emotions. It's my fault people are upset. No, the Five of Cups teaches us they usually are looking at three spilled cups. Behind them are the two cups of the power of emotional choice, that I'm the one that chooses what emotion I feel. Yeah, we're given a lot of opinion on how I'm supposed to feel when something happens. And we sometimes just take all that on and blindly feel emotion because we're supposed to, and we've made it a habit to feel this way when these things happen. But our power is realizing I don't have to invest all this energy in trying to make everyone else happy because I can't. That's outside of my control. The only thing I can control is my own emotional choices, which also means no one else can make me happy. If I can't find happiness in myself, no one, I'm not going to be happy with anyone else. If someone else isn't able to find their happiness, I sure as well can't find it for them, right? So I love this, what you're learning as you're going through these steps here. Yeah, and then you also have the Five of Swords with the Eight of Cups. Yeah. So this Five of Swords energy it's about the battle between your head and your heart, your head that has those expectations rooted in fear of rejection, fear of not being enough, not, failure and all that lovely stuff we're taught. And then your heart, which says, that's all BS, um, you are unconditionally loved and powerful. You can love whoever you want, and it's above and beyond extra. It's, we fill up from the inside when we find our self-love, then the love from the outside world is just extra. When we're looking for their love to fill us up, then that's when we feel disappointed and where lack comes in. So a lot of this learning that you're growing through this, I feel like with the star card here, the possibility is Aquarius energy, because I didn't really get any other energy that really stood out to me, but the star card is Aquarius. So they either that or they have a lot of air energy, but it really is Aquarius energy, um, which, of course, that's just one indicator of who they are. Like I'm an Aquarius sun, but you got all your other planets and everything that create the super who you are. So try not to go in Aquarius. Oh no. You can be like, oh, okay. It can be a wonderful soup no matter what sun sign they are. All right. So that is what they have for you there. Let's grab your fortune cookie here too, Melly McTrippy. All right. Here we are. You got the return. Dun, dun, dun. Card 17. Returning home to you, maybe. Let's see what this is here. This is the square, number 17. There we go. One more. So when the heroine returns from her journey, she brings back to the world a gift, a way of seeing, of being, which is uniquely hers. She must begin to decide how, using those unique gifts, that she can work to restore the fertile feminine principle to the world, to speak for the earth itself, and so take responsibility for healing of this wasteland. In the challenged world we live in, our newfound wisdom should above all be grounded, rooted, and earthy. The creative, regenerative power of life, which comes from an understanding of our place in the wider web of life on this earth. Our task on our return is to help bring about re-enchantment of our relationship with the earth. There's still more, but I feel like this is the return of you after you've gone through these journeys of these other relationships. What you've learned, you return back and help transform things, but it also puts you in this place. You are transformed. You have different things to give now that you've gone through this journey, right? Says, but it's not always easy to return, and sometimes we might want to refuse it. Sometimes it's easier by far to sink into the magical otherworldliness of the journey. And for some of us, there's a strong temptation to stay withdrawn from a challenging everyday world, to go into permanent retreat, or to make the search for personal enlightenment and self-illumination our lifetime's work. But if we do, chances are that sooner or later, the world will come a-knocking, because as the world and our own species lurches from crisis to crisis, as we listen to the cry of a grieving earth, the call to return is strong. The return card invites us to imagine a place in which we can be grounded, rooted, a place in which our particular gifts and wisdom can flourish, a place in which we can fully embrace the natural world around us and our part in it, a place from which we can speak. And Spirit wants me to read that last part and replace that with relationship, since you're talking about love. So the return card invites you to imagine a relationship in which you can be grounded and rooted, a relationship in which your particular gifts and wisdom can flourish, a relationship in which you can fully embrace the natural world around you and your part in it, a relationship from which you can speak. Wow, I love that. So hopefully that helps with your journey for love for now. But at least you got some initials. Aquarius energy is very strong. And then advanced warning of a fork, where there could be 2 stepping stones. For sure 1, 2 if you choose. Right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your donation. Many blessings to you. And for everyone, great question, Lil one. I have a boatload more of donations, and I'm hitting 3 hours in like 8 minutes. So what I'll be doing is, I won't be getting to any free readings tonight. I'm going to take screenshots for everyone. I'm going to go take a little break for a little bit, and then I'll come back on and finish out all donations. So anyone that wants to make a donation, you can still do that and pop your question out there. I'll be gathering them all, but I will be stepping away just to get some more to drink and use the little restroom and regenerate a little bit, and then I'll come back on and finish out everything. So, but I won't be able to get to any free readings this evening. Thank you for your patience. I know sometimes I'm able to get to them on nights, and sometimes I'm not. I never know. All right. So hopefully that helps a little bit. So I think here we'll be able to, let's grab Maria P. We'll be able to complete yours, I believe here. Well, we will. We'll make sure to complete it. So thank you for your donation via PayPal. And then I'll gather everybody's names here and let you know where we're at and how many donations I have for when I come back. But so Maria, Wally's thoughts and feelings towards you in this moment. So we got that one. Don't want those. Feelings and thoughts, just one card. All right. So what's coming towards you tomorrow and throughout the weekend? All right. Tomorrow and throughout the weekend. Okay. Are you going to hang out tomorrow or this weekend? Okay. And then he said he's having trouble on his new job. Ooh, what's going on? Okay. Like this. And then updates on the dark side. Anything else? All right. So let's see what we got here. Feelings and thoughts for you? Oh, well, he gets this a lot with you here. There definitely, I mean, we know there's a lot of emotion involved, but right now there's the Ace of Wands, which is all about passion and attraction. Energetic attraction is there too. There's this energetic draw, but a lot of passionate energy is on their mind and their heart right now. It's just a strong draw, and we like that. We like that. You like that because I feel like one of your fears is that they won't, because you can have emotions for someone, not be attracted to them, and then you go into the friend zone, right? It's like I can love my friends. I'm not gonna have passion with them. um, but so I like that there's this I feel like a necessity for you to know right now he is so attracted to you. What's coming towards you tomorrow? Do you have the Judgment card, which is about seeing things from this higher perspective? um, a lot of clarity, but it feels like they're more so this energy is like a what is this? It's not like a anything bad at all, so breathe. But it's like it's seeing things more clearly, seeing things from a higher perspective. Tomorrow energy, and I like it. It's like a dose of beautiful reality, because sometimes we can get into dreamy. But when it's like something dreamy hits reality, and it's like, wow, this really isn't in my head. This is really happening, between us. And I love that kind of energy. Um, Over the weekend, you have the Nine of Wands. It does feel like here there's a bit of resistance energy. I don't feel like it's on your part or their part. I just feel like there's this barrier that's there of life that's keeping you guys from uh, like moving to do the things that you both want to do. So it's like, hey, I can do this. Oh, I can't because of this. I can do this. Oh, I can't because of this. Well, I can do this. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like, why is life working against me right now? But we can realize that sometimes there's barriers to help us. Sometimes we need a little bit of time uh, for ourselves and just to go with the flow and not try to control everything, right? Will you guys get together this weekend? 10 of Swords. Let expectations go. Expectations, disappointment, right? So current energy, I feel like that is this barrier. And so this helps us understand, right? That there is this, tomorrow into the weekend. Like, well, I'm expecting it. And so what we know that when we focus on what needs to happen and should happen, what I want to happen, we end up pushing it away. Returning back to gratitude for what we have had, what I do have, allows things to come in, right? So I feel like they're saying here with this energy, excuse me, that that can change if we change, because I feel like that energy that's blocking it is our mindset around expectation. As soon as I start just like, I'm grateful, instead of, hey, are we going to be able to get together this weekend? And why not? Blah, 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 blah. That will just, in our energy, even if we don't say anything or act on it, our energy is what does this, right? So it's important here if we can change that. If you want to get together, then focus on gratitude, sincere gratitude, for those weekends and the stuff that you've been able to have. Because when we get a little more like sleepovers and stuff, suddenly we get reverted back into more instead of gratitude for what we do have, right? So dead horse beaten, let's go on. He said he's having trouble with his new job. What's going on there? We got the Chariot card. Let me just take a sip here. So the Chariot card is the power of choice that's there. I feel like I feel like there's some people that are making poor choices, and I feel like his choice in response to their choices also not the one that a lot of people like. And I feel like that's where it's at. Just it doesn't feel like um it doesn't feel like it's, big, big, big. What was that? The movie Big Trouble in Little China? It's like, it's not big. It's not, but I just feel like there's conflicts, and how he was trying to help and deal with the conflicts ended up blowing up and didn't go the way he thought it would, misunderstandings. So there's going to be a switch and change of energy, but I don't feel like there's anything to worry about with it. I just feel like there's, challenges more than, what did we call it? Troubles. It feels like more like challenges. Just, this is what comes with the job. People get upset and people are human. And when they get in fear, they do stupid stuff and make stupid decisions and uncaring and loving and cat fight. And then it's like, okay, I need to find solutions to these conflicts and to these things that are going on. And he'll figure it out. Updates on the dark side. Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. A lot of emotions going on here. I do feel that, and I don't feel like these are his. I feel like there's just a lot of sharing of emotion from the dragon. The dragon is crying tears of fire. So I don't feel like nothing has really changed. I just feel like they're in an emotional area, and he's just like, oh, wow. He doesn't like it when people cry, but I just feel like they are not Wally, but the other is going through a lot of emotional stuff, and they're just, that's something that makes him really uncomfortable, is when people cry, right? Because he has a belief it's his fault, but it's good for him to, have to deal with that. But nothing. I don't feel like there's any kind of significant movement to be mentioned there. Okay. And then your message here for your fortune cookie is reclaiming the feminine. Interesting. I'm getting a message here of, it's like these are feminine friends. Like, where are your girlfriends? Do you have, besties? Do you have, it's about, you need a life in addition to just one person. It's important for you to have a life outside of a relationship too, because it helps keep you solid. It also keeps you busy instead of sitting around wondering. It's allows you to live your life and not have someone become your life. And I feel like this is what this is bringing in for me here. In addition to that, it says a core task in a woman's journey through life is to discover and then integrate the feminine principle, which has been repressed over countless centuries. It's an antidote to the masculine principle, whose qualities have dominated our culture discourse here in the West for far too long. We need the feminine to balance out that dogged drive for success and progress and devotion to intellectual, rational, and goal-oriented traits. Feminine qualities of relatedness enable us to appreciate and live in harmony with other humans, as well as the other than humans who share the planet with us. They enable us to appreciate the rhythms of the natural world, as well as the rhythms of our physical body and the cycle and seasons of our lives. These qualities of the feminine principle also include the instinctive, feeling qualities traditionally associated with the heart and soul. But reclaiming the feminine isn't just about embracing all the things which make us feel good. We need to encounter the dark feminine too. This isn't necessarily the negative aspect of the feminine. Rather, it's the expression of the very necessary creative and chaotic energies, which allows us to experience the full range of women's mysteries. Excuse me. This card invites us to delve deep to uncover our inner source of female wisdom and to embrace our unique creativity and life-giving qualities in the spirit of both our own growth and our service to the world. So I feel like there is this energy of making sure you have a feminine circle, but also coming back to the feminine inside of you, meaning like Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, nurturing yourself as well. So that is what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. All right, so I think I've got all of these over here. All right, everybody. So I've been on for 3 hours. I am going to go take a break. I'm going to grab all of the information here first. Let's see here. Let's see, we've got that. Oh my God. So who I had coming up next, Johanna, and then Sean G, and then Tabitha, and then Michelle Smith. So I got those. And then Anna, hello. Sorry that I didn't get to yours yet. It's been a busy night, and I'm so grateful. And then Sonali Thakur, let's grab yours. I'm just making the list here, letting you guys kind of know where you're at when I return. And then Sudeshna Ghosh, hello. So far, oops, it's times 2. And then good morning, Patty. We will circle back around for Patty as well. And then we've got 2 more for Sudeshna. All right. So as I said, I'm not going to have time for free readings this evening, but I'm on Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights from 6 to 9 p.m. and then Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. On Sundays, whatever I don't get to in the morning, I do come back in the afternoon, complete all readings, including free readings. For these sessions, I only am on for 3 hours. And if I am doing donations the entire time, I don't come back on to finish out the free readings. I used to, but I went out of balance and then got sick, and then I always go out of balance, and then Spirit's like, calm down, boy. So for my balancing purposes, they agreed Sundays I could do that, but the rest of them, I only come back on to complete the donations. So that's what I'll be doing. Let me can't forget to grab print screens here so I have all the questions. And it shouldn't be too long. Probably I'll be back on in about 30 minutes. Let me see here if I remember. Is it this? Yes, okay. Remember on this computer how to, okay, take screen captures. But after each, I do post a pinned comment after the stream, of course, with all the readings I completed with the timestamp so that you can just click on it to go directly to your reading as well. So thank you for your patience in getting to your readings. I know it can take a little bit to get to them. We do kind of dive deep into the donation ones. So thank you guys for your patience, and apologies to all those that wanted free readings that I wasn't able to get to tonight. Please, you can come back and try every evening if you'd like. But for sure, if you're like, nah, I don't want to do that, please at least come back on Sunday, and we'll make sure to complete that one for you, because we'll definitely complete those. All right. Okay, almost done here. I think, yes, we're to here. Boom, there we go. All right, so I have all the screenshots. Like I said, I'm just gonna head out and get somewhere to drink and use the little boy's room, just rest and get everything ready, and then I will be back on to finish out everything. So thank you guys again so much for all your love and all your support, and again, your patience and your thirst for hearing and searching after spirit. I'm always blown away by all of your hearts, and thank you again. Until we meet again, remember, every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. We'll see you soon. Remember, also, have some fun, because why are we being so serious all the time? It's a playground, right? Let's go play. Like a little card I pulled this morning. It's about returning to being the child. All right, everybody. I love you. We'll see you soon. Bye, Dad.